afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Charlevoix High School Baseball, where today the Charlevoix Red Raiders will host the Central Lake Trojans. This is Scott Boss and John Murray. How are you, Scott, today? Hey, buddy, remember now, you wait for me to look at you.
Okay, pal.
John, joining me for the first time, I'm actually excited about it, and it's our first broadcast for Raider Baseball.
That's the truth, and it's a great day here, a little windy, a little cool, but the sun is trying to peek out here, Scott, and the baseball players are just getting a great day of baseball, folks.
Absolutely. It's freezing out here. John's got his gloves. I got 3 coats on, and we both put hats on as the hair's a little thin.
That's for sure. At our age, you know why, too, buddy. It's going to be a great day today. Charlotte comes in with, a decent record trying to set up a good team. Central Lake has a great record at 11-11, Scott.
Exactly. I'd like to remind you all, Raider Baseball today, 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. One of the sponsors for today's contest, Telgenoff and Snyder, proud supporters of Raider Athletics. They're attorneys dedicated to service, and they'd be happy to serve you. Call Alan Telgenoff or Valerie Snyder at 231-547-3400, or stop by their new location on the corner of M66 and 31. Also, Northern Michigan Sports Med, helping you get back into action quicker. Northern Michigan Sports Medicine is a location near you. Go to northernmichigansportsmed.com for all the details. Also, Ron Agnello, CPA. Go Raiders from Rod Agnello, Certified Public Accountant. See Ron for your tax and business planning needs. Now, John, as we get ready to talk here just a little bit, you see the Raiders taking the field as they are a home team. I'd like you to run through the starting lineups for the Charlevoix Raiders, if you would.
Okay, Scott, thank you very much. Andrew Potter, number 3, is starting at shortstop. We have Kobe Harriman, number 10, at third base. Jordan Farmer, number 16, playing center field. It would be Tommy Zip, number 7, being the pitcher starting out today. Shane Sutherland, number 8, at second base. Morgan Stewart, number 15, in right field. We have Isaac Klooster, number 1, in left field. Dylan Sladek, number 4, in center field. And Jesse Dross, number 14, at first base, Scott.
Excellent. You can hear the wind, folks. John, it would be an absolute major league poke to get one out of here, as it's right into the face, right into our face, sitting here behind home plate.
That's the truth, Scott. I don't know if anybody's big enough to hit it, but it looks like we're getting ready to start, Scott, and here comes the first pitch.
Here comes Tommy Zip, and he winds up. He brings the ball, and the first one is indeed a ball.
He looked like he had good action. I see him being warming up, Scott. That looked like a little fastball, but it was a little low.
Here comes Zip in the windup. He brings it in, and the second pitch is hit right to the second baseman, and he fields it cleanly over to the first baseman, and that's one out, John.
Yep, he did a nice throw. It was a nice little double bouncer to the second baseman there, Shane Sutherland. He threw it over to first base. Isaac Klooster for the first out of the game, Scott.
Yeah, clean little fielding job there by our second baseman, because that was a miserable hop.
It's a bad hop. I saw that. And here comes the second guy up, and just in a second here, a little inside pitch there a little bit, and Tommy shakes his head saying to the pitcher, the catcher, I know.
Tom Zip now bringing that first one a little high and a little tight. He winds up for the second, and he brings that ball to home, and it's outside. The umpire nodding his head saying, nope, that's 2 balls.
Exactly. Let me run through the Central Lake lineup real quick for you, Scott. Number 1, number 20, Patton. 42, Zielinski. Number 11, Davis. Number 2, King. Number 23, Kiesel. Number 1, Sutherland. Number 14, Luchenbill. And then number 27, Kemenitz, I think it is, or Kemenizer. And then Buffman, Hiltonman, Nemec. We have a Schaefer, Scott, and Jimenez, an exchange student. We have a base hit right between first and second base, Scott.
Here we go, John. Like you say, definitely absolute line drive to right field by their second hitter, and he ripped it out there. Charlevoix quick with the ball back into the infield, and Zip gets ready to face their third batter.
Okay, I see that. So here we go, Tommy Zip up. We have a person on first base. It's a little outside and low, ball 1.
I see that we're being told to turn the master down, so that first pitch from Zip, indeed a ball. Our batter checking the third baseline for his signal. Zip prepares to bring her to the plate. He winds up. He lets her go. Also, John, a ball.
A ball. A little bit low again to Davis, number 11.
Zip. I believe Zip, a sophomore with a really good velocity on his arm. He is in the stretch, and he fakes, if you will, towards first base to get the runner back, as he had a nice lead. Too big for Zip's consideration.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Scott Zip is a junior. He's played the pitcher, outfield, and third baseman. It's the second year on varsity. He had 3 big hits in a big game, 2-1 win over Harbor Springs. They were ranked 10 at the time, so he's been a good influence to the Charlevoix Raiders, Scott.
Absolutely. Man on first base, 1 out. And here comes Zip. He's in the windup. He brings it right down the middle.
Oh, just over the second baseman's head. He just over the glove here, Scott.
Yep, absolutely. Fielded cleanly by the right fielder. And our right fielder there getting more action than I'm sure Coach Telganoff wants. All right. So here we go now. Man on first and second, 1 out, and King to the plate for Central Lake. Zip now, your pitcher. Telganoff with his infield in. Zip winds up, brings the ball, strike 1. Fouled off the back here, John, right in our face, I might add.
Yeah, and if it goes too high, Scott, we might be in trouble. It might be over the fence and right at us, because we're right behind home plate here, folks, right in the teeth of the wind. But they do have runners at first and second. We got an any bag out with 1 out, folks. The score is 0-0 in the first inning, top of the first still, Scott.
Zip with his windup from the stretch. He brings her in, and it's a little, oh no, he got the corner. Strike.
I see that. Good pitch.
So we're sitting here with 2 strikes on the third batter, King, with the man on first and second. Here comes Zip. He brings the ball right down the gut.
Little inside, he got him to drop. Strike 3 for King. Here's our second out, Scott. Now, it's any bag for the Raiders. Zip's back. The catcher's back out talking to Zip right now. I think they're trying to get their signals straight, Scott.
Absolutely, and you can see the Central Lake bench rooting on. And how do you pronounce this batter? You were the one talking to the coach here.
This is Kiesel.
Kiesel, a big kid batting in the 4th position. Zip won't want to bring that one down the plate on this guy.
No, I don't think so. He's going to want to go inside or out, but we'll see what kind of action he goes throwing.
Here comes Zip. He's in the motion. He winds up, and it's fouled back, out of play, heading towards the girls' bleachers. Man, they almost, John, you look at that, Charlotte almost ought to have a lid on these legs. We need a lid, buddy.
I think so, buddy. I'm afraid if you get a big foul ball like that, it might end up right in the infield of the girls' softball game, which is going on right now, too, by the way, between the Lady Raiders and the Central Lake Trojans as well. So
here comes Zip's wind up, and he throws a ball. So we're sitting here 1 ball, 1 strike with a man on first and second, and there's no score yet in this contest. Zip now, he checks his signs, looks to third base, then looks to second, looks home, and here it comes. Woo. He tried a curveball there, and that almost a nice shot by the catcher, John.
Good job by the catcher. It almost got away from him. He jumped over to his right and grabbed that ball very nicely, Scott.
Okay, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Zip now checks his runner on second, brings it home, and, man, I'll tell you what, he delivers it, and Harriman fields it cleanly and tags the runner coming from second to third. That's the end of the first inning there for the Raiders.
It's at the end of the first, the top of the first, Scott, and we're coming up the Raiders at bat here in a minute, and that was a good play by the third baseman, Harriman. He had to move up a little bit to catch it on the bounce, but as the runner came by from second to third, he tagged him instead of tagging the bag.
Harriman, a kid that's an excellent pitcher, John. I watched him warming up. I was told Harriman throwing the ball in the 80s.
No kidding.
So your third baseman, an excellent pitcher, and he's showing that he's got great hands because he feels a short hopper there and had his head in the game. Thinks to tag the runner running from second to third, and that's the end of that first half of the inning.
No question about that, Scott. It was a great play, and we got out of that. They did have the first 2 runners on. Actually, we got an out first, then the next two runners got on, and then we got the following two out. So it was a good job by the Raiders to stay 0-0 at the end of the top of the first inning.
With that, John, I'm going to remind folks that they're listening to WMKT, the talk station. That's 1270, 92.1. And with that, we're going to go back to Carolyn for a commercial.
As a parent, you'll find plenty of people who want to offer you expert medical advice. Friends, family, online sources, the list goes on and on. It's not always easy to know what to listen to and what to ignore. But when the CDC makes a recommendation, you can be sure it's one you can trust. And the CDC has found that flu shots are especially important for children over 6 months and less than 5 years, as well as for all children with asthma. Each year, about 20,000 children younger than the age of 5 are hospitalized because of flu complications. Each year, some will die. So if you have children over 6 months and less than 5 years, or children with even occasional asthma, this is advice you simply can't ignore. Get yourself and your children vaccinated.
Contact your healthcare provider to learn more. A message from the Michigan Department of Community Health and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT. Faster, smarter, better.
Welcome back to Charlevoix High School for the Red Raiders, who are hosting the Central Lake Trojans. I'd like to remind you that this is 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. And here we go now. The starting pitcher for Central Lake, John, getting in his windup, and he brings the first, and it's right down the pipe. And our leadoff batter looks like Potter.
Andrew Potter, number 3. That's who's up right now. Great player, junior at Charlevoix. Nice hit down towards second base, Scott.
And it's a line drive to the second baseman. He bobbles it, John, but then gets it over there for the first out. So our leadoff, Potter, he's going to come back and take a seat.
It was a nice recovery. He did bobble it a couple of times, and then he fired a strike right down to first base for the first out.
This brings Kobe Harriman to the plate, the number 2 batter for Charlevoix. He comes to the plate now, and here is the windup from Central Lake. Pitcher brings the ball inside. It's tight on Harriman, and he takes it. Ball 1.
It was a good eye by Harriman. It was right on the inside corner. He almost took a whack at it, but
the starting pitcher for today's contest, John, as I can't see the lineup, brings that second one. Harriman all over it, and he's getting down the line, but the shortstop fields that ball for the Trojans cleanly, and he throws it over there like a shot out of a cannon, and he gets Harriman for the second Raider out.
The starting pitcher for the Central Lake is Pat, Scott. I've heard of him before. I think he's been a pretty good pitcher this year for him.
Yeah, actually, the kid throws the ball real hard, a lefty, and now to the plate, looks like Farmer for Charlevoix, and he stands in, and here's the windup, and he swings, and he gets part of it. Foul ball here behind the catcher.
Foul tip there. It was a good swing. It was a little bit low, but I think he was just a hair anxious. But that wind is making it go back and forth a little bit, Scott. A little deceiving for these players, that's for sure.
I agree with you, John. Wind up now, and we're at a 2-out situation here for the Raiders, and it's 2-2 on the count now as Farmer fouls another one off to his third base coach, Al Telganoff.
Well, he is getting a piece of him, Scott, which is a good thing. I'd rather see him do that than take a swing and miss the ball completely. But that wind is playing havoc on these players, I think. It must be blowing at least, 15 to 20 coming right down the pipe here at home plate.
Well, I'll tell you, I agree with you. 20 is an understatement. The windup. Farmer, man, he line drives right into right field. Nice hit. 2-out hit there. Farmer trying to start her going in the first inning.
Yeah, it was a good swing. It was a little bit outside, and he hit it right to right field, right over the top of the second baseman's head, out of the reach of the second baseman.
Jordan, you saw it, John. Jordan Farmer even getting the rah-rah from his grandma over here.
I saw that.
Oh, jeepers. There she
and there she comes. And now Tommy Zip, number 7's up to bat, Scott.
Zip standing in there for the Raiders, number 7. Real strong, real athletic kid. So we've got a man on first base, and we're sitting here with 2 outs with Zip eyeballing, and the pitcher takes a step back as Farmer messing with him over there.
Yeah, I see that. He's getting a pretty good lead over there, Scott. We're still 0-0, folks, in the bottom of the first inning, by the way.
pitch coming. It's a high fly ball, and it's in tough shape there man, what a play from the second baseman.
He was coming over to right field because it was really high and over in shallow right field, Scott, and he ran underneath it. He almost overran it, had to reach back over his head and made the catch for the third out.
Exactly, John. Great description of that. Tonight's contest, or this afternoon's contest, also brought to you by Charlevoix Abstract and Title. Charlevoix Abstract and Title Agencies, your fast, accurate, and professional full-service title company. Give them a call at 547-0792 or visit them at 203 Mason Street, just across from the county building. Also, Behan Window Cleaning. Now, we know a little bit about Behan Window Cleaning. That's old Dean Behan and Behan Window Cleaning. They're proud supporters of Charlevoix baseball. Also, North Coast Imagewear. John, visit Tracy Peel. I'm real familiar with this guy, and North Coast Imagewear in Petoskey for all your custom art, screen printing, embroidering needs. Also, a longtime sponsor of Charlevoix baseball.
And also Lakeview Maintenance from Dwayne Farmer. You can call Dwayne at 675-9620. Nathan and Joy Kluser. Call Nate or Joy for their natural raised beef, hormone-free, now taking orders for the fall. They're also taking orders for hay, round or square bales, and have grain for sale. You can call them at 675-0225.
John, we got to give a little yah-yah there for the old rabbit, Nate Kluster.
Well, no doubt
we graduated with him.
Sure did, buddy. That's a little bit long time ago there, Scott.
That's all right.
The folks
That's back to the chuck wagon days.
That's exactly right, the old chuck wagon days where you had to walk to school a mile uphill both ways, right, Scott?
Yep. No lineup changes here for Telgenoff's Raiders as we still have Zip on the mound. Jordan Farmer in the catching position, and here comes Sutherland to the plate for the Central Lake Trojans. John, Sutherland batting in the, fifth position, right? Because their power position made that last out, correct?
Sixth position, I think, Scott, but number one, Sutherland's up to bat. It's still 0-0, top of the second inning.
Here we are. First pitch of the top of the second inning. Zip. He checks Farmer for the signs, winds up, brings the ball, and it is a strike.
Beautiful strike on the outside corner, Scott. I think that was it might have been a hair of a slider. Now, I'm not a perfect baseball person, but it came a little bit from the inside out, and I think that was a slider.
Here comes Zip's second pitch, and he brings it. It is a strike, and it's hit right to the shortstop, Potter, and he delivers a strike over there to Mr. Drost on first base, and that's the first out.
No question. It was a good hit. It was kind of nice and hard, and he got a crisp bounce off of it, put it in his glove, and threw it right over to the first baseman for the first out of the second inning.
Again, Raider baseball, WMKT 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, the talk station. And here's Zip. Brings the first pitch to this batter, and it is a changeup, John. And
I saw that move, boy.
Everywhere but loose. That's a strike one there.
This is Luchenbill, number 14 for Central Lake Trojans.
Here comes Zip, his windup. He delivers a strike, and it's fouled off over here behind first base. So he's way ahead in the count, John.
No question.
2 strikes.
Scott, and as I saw that foul ball go over to the Lady Raiders game, I looked over to score, and the Raiders are winning 2-1 against Central Lake in fast-pitch softball, Scott.
Here comes Zip's pitch. It's swung at, but got a piece of it, John.
I thought he swung at that and missed it, but he must have got a piece because he put both hands up, and apparently it was a foul tip, Scott.
No, he did. He got a piece of it. It was right on his hand.
It had to be right on the fingers, and he took it, but I think he's got him on the count right now of 0, he's got 0-2, so
I'd like to see that changeup again. Here comes Zip in the windup now. The pitch, lined right at the pitcher, and it was hard. That's a base hit.
Right up the middle. He had 0-2, and he threw him that sweet fastball right down the middle, Scott, when he had him 0-2. It was a good pitch, but it hung a little bit, and the guy got right on it and hit it right back at the pitcher's feet and right by him up into the center field. Okay, we have number 10, and that's Buffman from Central Lake, Scott.
Thanks, John. You got the lineup. I'd like you to do that every time, seeing how we're learning here. Buffman, a big kid. Looks to be 6'3", easy, and he's got a runner on first base, and here comes Zip. Brings that ball hard to home plate for a strike, and we're sitting here strike one with a man on first base, and there is 1 out.
And he's looking for the windup right now, Scott, and here it comes.
Zip now. He brings the ball hard inside. Man, he swings and he misses. That's right there. That's the second strike with your man on first. And I'll tell you what, I'd like to see that ball again.
It was nice and inside and high, and he took a big cut at it and missed it.
Zip bringing another fastball. Gasser right down the plate, but he takes it. So now we're going to be
1 and 2.
One ball, 2 strikes.
A little different than basketball. We got to get used to these counts.
You can see what we got going on here. Here comes Zip. He winds up, brings it in. He's going to call him.
Got him. Strike 3. That was a great pitch there.
And I'll tell you what, Zip bringing nothing but gas on that. He gets that out. So we sit here at 2 outs, no score in the ball game yet. And I'm getting a note here, John. So take that if you will.
Here comes number 35. This is Hilleman. Or I think it's Hiltonen. Hiltonen is the guy's name here. He's coming up to bat right now. We do have 2 outs. That was the first. He took a cut at it. It's a foul tip, Scott. So right now, folks, we're in the top of the second inning. It's still 0-0 Raiders and Central Lake Trojans.
Thanks, John. We had a little technical difficulty there. I had to adjust your voice. Can you imagine John Murray not being loud enough?
No, I can't even understand that. I've never heard that from my family and my friends.
I love it. Absolutely. Here's Zip.
Okay.
Zip winds up. He checks the runner. He brings her inside. Taken by Hiltonen. Is that how you're pronouncing that?
Yeah, it's Hiltonen. Exactly.
Okay. Hiltonen takes that ball inside, so we're going to be here 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Wow, Zip brings the gas.
Nice. It was another slider, I think, Scott, and he got it on the outside corner, and he took a big cut at it and just missed it.
Man, I'm going to tell you what. Zip can throw cats. The kid's got a strong arm. So now he's in the lead here on this deal. 2 outs. We've got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zip winds up. He brings it to the plate, and it's a ball, John Lowe.
It was in the dirt, too, and the catcher made a good stop on that, Scott. It bounced right off of his protective equipment there and went out into the field a little bit, and he made a good stop on it, so the runner on first couldn't go anywhere.
I agree. Farmer all over that, blocking that ball. That was a tough one. Here comes Zip. He winds up, checks his runner. Bang, he brings a low ball, and this is ball 3. So we got a full count, John.
Full count right now, 3 and 2 with 2 outs, man on first. This is going to be an important pitch. I think he's been thrown a little low on purpose. We'll see where he puts this one, Scott.
Zip's pitch. Man, he brings a knuckleball, and I'll tell you what, it even had, I don't know.
That ump took a long time to call that pitch. I think it was a little inside, Scott, but
called
it took a long time to call it ball 4.
Buddy, that was a knuckleball. Or the wind did squirrely things to it. It was all over.
Yes, it did, Scott. That was wonderful. I mean, I thought, and the ump took a whole 10 seconds or something to call it. I didn't know what he was going to do.
No score in this contest. 2 outs for the Raiders. Zip winds up, checks his runners, brings it right down the heat, right down the middle of the plate, and it's fouled back to third baseline.
It's back to the number 1 hitter again, Patton. They've gone through the lineup once. This is number 20, Patton.
Patton way behind the gas from he was way late on that. So here comes the second pitch, and he's got Zip in the lead now, a strike ahead. Runner on first and second, and Zip checks his runner and comes out of the windup, John.
Turns to second base. The guy had a little bit of a lead off there, and the second baseman went over. Actually, the shortstop went over, Scott, and got behind him, and I think Zip was going to try, but he at least scared him off a little.
Here comes Pat now. He stands in there. Zip checks his runner on second base, his lead runner, and brings the ball to the home plate. And, man, Patton gets on this thing, and hopefully you're got some wheels in that. No.
Oh, the wind blew it back in.
He turns. He's coming home, but what an arm to Farmer. Farmer puts it to third. Everybody's safe. Runner scores for Central Lake. That puts Central Lake in the lead, 1-0. Raiders here with a 2-out hit into left field, and the wind just held the thing up.
Scott, it was so high, it was like the old thing where they said K-line rushes over, he's under it, but the wind blew it back and back and back, and the left fielder was running as hard as he could to get to it. Couldn't get to it, dropped it in, had a great throw at home. It was a little bit off to the right, and then when the catcher grabbed it, he threw it back to third. Everybody's safe, and Luchenbill scores for 1-0 Central Lake.
Farmer going to check with Zip to get the sign straight, as they've got a runner on first. Natural situation with a runner on third to send him to see if Farmer's going to throw the ball. So here's Zip.
Well, you know, they're in a situation, Scott, now where they could almost walk a guy to get a force play because the runner on first, the guy on third does not have to go.
No, but I'm saying that, boy, what a time to find out if your catcher's got an arm. Now, I happen to know that Jordan Farmer's got a cannon for an arm.
Well, I believe
Maybe that's why he's not sending them. Here we go. The first one, strike, taken by the batter. Zip checks his runners on first and third, brings it home. Farmer fakes a throw to first base. I liked it because Harriman coming in, your third baseman behind the runner, they almost had the old deke play, John.
Right, exactly. And he's got 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Zielinski up to bat.
Zielinski now looking at Zip. Zip winds up. He brings her home. And, man, Zielinski just fouls that off. I mean, he just got on it with the tip of the bat.
He just got a piece of it. It was a great pitch on the outside corner, and he had him 0-2. Still 0-2, Scott, but it was a great pitch outside corner with the tip foul back towards us.
If you're just joining us, now Central Lake here in the second inning just scores, so they're up 1-0, and we've got 2 outs. Do the Raiders on the Central Lake Trojans, and Zip ahead in the count. 2 strikes, no balls, but boy, what a job of hanging in there by the Central Lake batter, Zielinski.
He is hanging in there, Scott. He's had a couple foul tips in a row, and both of those pitches that Zip has thrown have been heaters right down the pipe.
I expect right now a gas in on his hands, right-handed batter now. Here comes Zip. He checks the man on third, winds up and fakes.
Stopped both the runners in their tracks.
He looked at third.
I almost got it. Yeah, he took a look at third and turned around back at first and stopped them both in their tracks. It was kind of a good move.
Here's Zip. He's in his windup. He checks the runner on third, brings that one home, and I'll tell you what, that's the heater, and he fouls her back over our head, John. So we're going to stay right here with 2 strikes. I tell you what,
it's amazing.
I've never seen anything like this. Zielinski, he's not going to sit down at all.
No, I think it's been about a 6-pitch batter so far on this one.
Zip in his windup, checks his lead runner, and brings a changeup to the plate, and it gets a little bit just past Jordan Farmer, but a great job of scrambling and getting that thing. That changeup in the dirt, John.
Yeah, the runner from first base did go on to second base, but now at least we have a force out in any bag.
Okay, Zip now. He checks his signs from the dugout first, then from Jordan Farmer. Here comes Zip. Lead runner check, high and inside. That's the second ball now. 2-2, John, is our count. 2 outs for the Raider for the Trojans, and the Raiders basically in a situation with a runner on third and second. We got to have a pitch here, John.
And here it comes right down the middle. It's straight up. It's in the infield. The catcher's got his hands up. He's calling for it. And it hits his glove, and he drops it. Unbelievable. It was a foul ball right at first base. The wind was blowing hard. He had it in his glove, and it popped out, Scott.
Yep. Jordan Farmer actually judging the ball perfect, but totally under it. It was a tough one. The thing's coming back at us like crazy.
Well, with that wind, it's really tough, but I think all he did was he closed his glove a little bit early, and he lost it. And you're right, Scott, about the other point that you made. We're in the top of the second now, and this happened to us in the top of the first. We had 2 outs. They get a couple of hits, and they scored a run, and now we're in the same situation, but right now it is 2-2.
Now we need the heater from Zip. Zip winds up. He brings the gas. Man, I'll tell you what, fouled off the catcher's face mask. That one as a catcher, John, I'll tell you what, that'll get your attention.
Every time, Scott. I mean, that's the hard thing when you're sitting there, and I think that's about his 4th tip-off in a row, isn't it?
Well, I agree. I think it's his 4th foul tip, and I'll tell you what, we're at 2-2, 2 outs, and runners on third and second base. Now he brings the gas.
He's stand-up. Yep. Actually, I think it might have been a foul tip. I see the up moving his hands, but he got him. He left two stranded on the bases. Good pitch.
And Farmer absolutely doing a great job, John, if you will, of absolutely staying on it because he did get a little piece of it. I agree with you.
No question. We held him back there, folks. We had the 2 outs, and they scored the 1 run. Now it's 1-0. We're going into the bottom of the second inning, and up for the Raiders. I'll have to look and see who we have.
Scott Boss and John Murray here for 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. I've got to remind you all as we get 5 minutes from the top of the hour, WMKT, Charlevoix, Traverse City, and the UP, W221BQ, Petoskey, and Harbor Springs. I want to just remind people that the individual sponsors for tonight's contest, the Farmer family, the Telganoff family, Corrine Henry, Pam Drost, the Zip family, and Kirk Heckendorn.
Great people. I think we know most all of those people, don't we, Scott?
Gosh, it sounds like they're from Charlevoix.
It sounds like they have some players on the team, some of those families. What do you think? Some aunts and uncles and grandmas and moms and dads. Central Lake takes the field, Scott. We're at the bottom of the second.
I'm going to have you I'm going to give a couple of reads here. Also
sure.
Sponsoring this afternoon's contest, Telgenoff and Snyder. They're proud supporters of Charlevoix Athletics. They're attorneys dedicated to service, and they'd be happy to serve you. Call Al Telgenoff or Valerie Snyder at 231-547-3400, or stop by their new location at the corner of 66 and 31. Also, a quick one, Northern Michigan Sports Med, helping you get back into action quicker. Northern Michigan Sports Medicine has a location near you. Go to northernmichigansportsmed.com.
Okay, I'm sorry, Scott, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Now we're coming into the second, bottom of the second, the first pitch by the pitcher, number 8, Dylan Sladek, is up to bat.
Sladek taking that first ball low, and here we go. Central Lake pitcher in the windup. He brings her gas, and look at, man, I'm telling you what, all over a line shot right to the shortstop, but
wow.
A cannon, John, coming over there. He's
holy mackerel. That was a great hit. It was almost over the second base, and the shortstop comes all the way over, grabs it, throws a cannon over to first base for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you what. He absolutely hammered that ball to the shortstop, and you talk about some reactions. He comes up with that thing clean and throws him out.
Right.
First pitch here.
Number 15, Morgan Stewart.
Wind up by the Central Lake Trojan pitcher, and he brings the gasser in there. Strike one.
Mr. Patton there from Central Lake is a good lefty. Ooh, another good pitch, Scott, right down the middle. Looked like a hair of a curveball, and strike two.
Yeah, he definitely pulled the string on it because she dropped like a sinker on that curveball.
Looked like your dad perch fishing there with that sinker out there.
It's definitely 2 strikes, but we don't see that on the scoreboard yet. Now he gets around on that third pitch, and he lines it to the third baseman, and he's got a gun of an arm. He guns it over there, and that's 3. That's the first out of this inning, buddy. And I'll tell you what, 3 pitches, an out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Number 1's coming up now, and I believe that is Andrew Potter back to the top of the order.
No, it should be Isaac Klooster, buddy. Remember you changed they
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. They sure did. Isaac Klooster playing left field. You're right.
Yep.
I apologize.
Isaac, the first pitch coming his way, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Isaac, one sure-handed kid, and I'll tell you what, he's got an outstanding average. This kid can bat. You just like to see old Isaac with some pipes because it'd be crazy if he had him.
I know. That pitch was outside for, I think it's 1-1 now, Scott.
Yeah, it is. 1-1. Patton, the left-hander, getting ready to bring that ball, and he does. Isaac all over it, hitting it right to the second baseman, and he wings it over there, and that is for the third out, John, and that retires the side for the Charlevoix Raiders, and we sit here at Central Lake 1, Charlevoix Goose Egg.
Yeah, and Charlevaux's been playing pretty good. Actually, we've been pitching good, but that guy from Central Lake, that Patton, he's been throwing them right in there, nice heaters right down the middle every time. We've been getting the hits, but just not out of the infield, and they've been fielding the ball real well, Scott. At the end of 2, folks, it's Central Lake Trojans 1, Raiders nothing. We're going to the top of the third. It looks like the lineup for the Charlevoix is the same.
You notice that I'm getting, I don't know, John, I know you've asked me questions about the basketball broadcast.
Sure.
Okay? But you can see right here on my phone, these people are feeling free to text me, even though that's the phone line we're actually talking at.
Right.
Dudley, Steven, one of our critics, you might know that. He says he's trying to remind me that, you remember Bud Klooster, okay, when we were in
school. Buddy Bud Klooster that went to high school.
Yeah, that we went to, and it was Klooster. Now,
Klooster.
Mr. Stevens wants to remind me that it's Isaac Klooster.
And and I knew that. Some of those Kloosters like Kloosters, and some of them like Klosters.
Hey,
what does that figure that out? Here comes your coach here to Alan Talgenoff's going to say hi.
Give him your set because I want to hear what the old burrhead's got to say now. He's got a microphone. Al, it's not wintertime. We're not talking on this thing, you and I, at a basketball game. I can't figure this out.
It's more like football weather, Scott. I think you and I are going to do football this fall, and this is a good warm-up for it. So,
yeah, we got to do football.
Glad to have you guys here. This was awesome.
Now we got a list of sponsors we're running through here. I have to admit, John and I are a little green at this baseball thing.
All right. You want me to do a little play-by-play?
Now.
John will go coach, and then I'll
you do the play-by-play, Alan. I'll give the caller right now.
Okay. There you go. All right. Well, we got Tommy Zip on the mound here. Top of the third inning. Raiders down 1-0. First pitch was a ball down low in the dirt. I don't know who the batter is here. See, I'm green too at this. So, but Tommy kicks. He deals. Fastball inside. Ball 2-0. Davis is the batter for Central Lake.
Zip with a really strong arm. The kid's got the gas.
He does. He's a fun kid to watch. He's a big, strong kid. Got long arms. Goes ball 3 here, coming all the way back to the backstop. But yeah, we're excited about Tommy, Scott. He's only a sophomore. He's our number 3 starter.
Yeah, I said he was a sophomore because we watched him on JV, but you got the info here that John's reading. They say junior.
No, and that's my mistake. But no, Tommy's a sophomore. We got a couple sophomores here, and he's got just a nice flowing arm there. Yep, I wrote it down wrong. That's my game notes here. I'm green at this. So 4 straight pitches.
John, you and I both were right, and the attorney. Oh, no, he's baseball coach.
I'm wearing the coach hat today. All right, Tommy walked the kid here on 4 straight pitches. So Central Lake runner on first. Nobody down. Got to look for the bunt here. I wish Kobe was in a little bit more, but fastball right down the middle, strike 1.
Yeah, Kobe, he definitely needed to come in because he's way back there.
Yeah, I'm counting on my assistants here to do a job here, but he's we got 1 strike on him, so we may be okay here now. But
Kingwood with good wheels, though, your batter.
Yeah, he does. Farmer tries to pick off at first, a little bit low, hits the runner, laying on the ground there. Jesse Dross got going, pick it up. Jordan Love's picking these guys off.
Jordan's got a cannon for an arm as your catcher.
He does. He's just, I feel sad for him because it's his junior year. He's got an unbelievable arm, Scott, but he's been hurt for probably half the season, and we really haven't seen his arm be what we know it can be throughout 25, 27 runners last year. And this year just hasn't been able to throw. That's why we got Luke Klinger up. Luke's going to catch game 2 for us. Now we're talking another ball, so we got 2 balls, 1 strike here. But, yeah, they're not going to bunt now, John. I think we're safe with Kobe back. We'll see. Nice shot at Potter. Potter catches it. We're going to double kid off first here.
Yeah.
Double play. Nice play by Andrew Potter. See him over here.
You notice one thing on Potter, I got a comment. Potter fielded the short hop, and then, obviously, we've seen outstanding hands from Potter football and basketball, and the kids, got a glove that can catch anything.
Right. Great athlete. He's kind of key to our defense is Potter, and really one of the backbones of our team. Potter, Harriman, and Farmer are our big 3, these juniors. Really excited, Scott, about next year. You know, we're having an okay season this year, but we got everybody back.
We're above 500, Al.
No, we're not.
I thought you were.
No, we're not.
The stuff you gave us shows that.
We are not above 500, and I know 100%.
5 wins and 9, right?
Oh, 5 and 9 in the league. Yeah. Sorry. You got to work on your math.
Sorry. You're not quite sure.
He's got 2-0 count. Tommy goes down low. He's struggling finding the plate here today. 3-0. Yeah, maybe it's me over here. Maybe he sees me behind the backstop, and it's making him nervous. But, no, Tommy, I was saying earlier, he's doing a nice job for us as a sophomore. I like our 3 and 4 pitchers. Shane Sutherland's a freshman. He's our number 4 pitcher. Ooh. And done a nice job. Tommy throws one over the inside corner. 3-1 now, or 2-1 rather. 2 down. Here again, top of the third. Central Lake 1, Charlevoix nothing. Tommy kicks, deals, down low. He's going to walk another guy here. But we're excited to have you guys here. I was worried about the rain earlier. I told Mr. Serd, I said, listen, I went to a lot of trouble.
Yeah, where's the
take
tent?
Care of all this. He said that's right. I asked him about a tent, and he said there's no sign of rain, so we're not going to worry about it. We're more worried about the wind, and I thought Mr. Serta was just going to build you like a temporary structure out here with his class. But ball outside, Tommy Zip working here on, who's this, number 1, Sutherland.
Man on first base. Zip kind of in the stretch there, if you will. And Zip still shows tremendous power even in that way.
He does. And Tommy's one of these guys that we work on a slide step. you can see Tommy, when he normally pitches, got a pretty high leg kick.
Yeah.
And we were having problems with guys stealing on him because it took so long to get to the plate. But he's working on a sidestep, and he doesn't like it much. He just did it there and threw a strike. He tells me he can't throw strikes as much with that, but he's doing a nice job with the sidestep tonight. But we got to find the strike zone here.
Now,
2-1's count on the hitter here.
Yeah, man on first. Score, Charlevoix, nothing.
Yeah, thanks,
Lake
Scott.
1. And Zip with big hands, Al. Looks like he's got a great changeup. We've only seen it twice so far.
Right. Yeah, that's still a work in progress. He's got a nice fastball, and what I like about him, Scott, is he's got such a loose arm. I mean, you can just see there's no effort whatsoever to it. I mean, he's throwing. It's like a slingshot. We should have got you the radar gun, so I'd say he's throwing mid-70s, just with ease.
Yeah, that's like radar. Too. John, we love radar. Yeah, I
got it out in my time. We'll see what we can do. But I'm sorry, 2-1. So Tommy's working here. My assistants are doing a great job. Tom's up. Brandon Webb. Got a runner here. Jordan throwing a second. Sutherland tries to pick it up. Ball gets away from him, but Potter, nice job on the backup. So we got to steal a second. Central Lake's got a man on. 2 outs. 3-1 count on the batter. So.
At the beginning, we get to these 2 outs, and then we struggle a little bit. It's that third out that's really giving us a hard time.
Well, you're right, John, and that's been a problem for us this year. I mean, that's last game that we played against Newberry. They scored 3 runs. We had 2 outs, nobody on, and we just can't close the door. And that's a continuing problem for us this year. But
Al Zip with that fourth ball there, he walks a man. So now runners on first and second for the Trojans.
Yep.
And
looking, Bill, and I remember this kid. What this guy did last time, Tommy threw a couple fastballs by him. I thought he just can blow this kid away, and then he got a nice base hit. And there's the curveball that you were talking about earlier. It's a nice pitch. You needed to throw it a little bit more. Maybe I'll talk to my catcher, Joe. He can probably hear me from here, though. So
I really like that curveball.
Yeah.
She's diving right off there.
Well, and you guys have a great vantage point here, right behind home plate. You can really see that. And he's doing that. Oh, there's a pop-up on the infield. They're going to call for it. It's going to be Farmer under it. He makes the catch, and that's 3 outs. All right, I got to go, guys.
Cal, thanks for joining us again. Hey, this is 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. John, start with that sponsorship deal here with
I think we're down to Rodignello CPA. Go Raiders from Rodignello, certified public accountant. See Ron for all your tax and business and planning needs. Again, another sponsor, Behan Window Cleaning. Dean Behan. We call him Clean Dean, Scott. Behan Window Cleaning has been around for a long time and is a proud supporter of Charlevoix baseball. Charlevoix Abstract and Title, they're downtown. Charlevoix Abstract and Title is your fast, accurate, and professional full-service title company. Give them a call at 547-0792 or visit them at 203 Mason Street, just across from the county building. We're going into the bottom of the third now, Scott. It's still the Central Lake Trojans 1, the Raiders 0. Also brought to you by North Coast Imagewear. Visit Tracy Peel and North Coast Imagewear in Petoskey for all your custom art, screen printing, and embroidery needs. North Coast is a proud sponsor and a longtime sponsor of Charlevoix baseball, Scott.
You notice I'm looking down through these stats here. I thought I might just tell the folks a little bit about some of these players. Isaac Klooster, he's your left fielder. Junior outfielder, second baseman also, third year on varsity, led the team with a .471 on-base percentage in 2009. Also, John, Andrew Potter, captain, junior shortstop / pitcher, third year as a starter on varsity, played the outfield as a freshman and hit .282 last year for his season's average. As I see assistant coach Zip heading over to the first baseline now, we've got the pitcher for the Trojans still Patton, right?
It's still Patton, number 20. He's still the pitcher.
They looked like they were talking to the other kid, and I saw him throwing behind the dugout. So
I think they're just keeping him warm in this cold day, Scott, because this guy Patton's really throwing the heaters down, and he's doing a pretty good job so far.
Okay, Raider baseball here on 1270 AM. We're 1-0 behind, and here comes Patton's pitch right to the plate, and Farmers.
It's Dylan Slaughter's number 4 there, Scott, and he almost does a bunt. He does a fake bunt there. I don't know if he took it for a strike or a ball.
He squared, and they said he did not go at it. I thought he made a little dive at her there, John, so that's ball 1. You're correct.
That's good, but, we can't see across if he gets that across home plate or not.
That is a gasser right down the middle, buddy, and that's a strike. So we've got 1-1 here at the account, and Dylan Sladek, number 4 for the Raiders, checking his signs down to third base where Talganoff stands with his arms crossed, and here comes Patton's pitch. He brings it, and it is a heater again, but this time Sladek gets on it, and he short hops the ball, and nobody's coming up with it because Sladek's got major league wheel.
And he ran really fast down there. It kind of took a bad hop in the middle of the infield, and the third baseman bobbled the ball, Scott, and Sladek makes it to first base safe. The first batter's on with no outs.
And here we go. That brings number 14 for Charlevoix, and that is Jesse Drost. Jesse Drost now with a man on first base.
Well, this is the time now, Scott, where we got it. We're top of the third, 1-0. We need to do a couple of things. We have no outs and a man on first. If we could get a nice hit here and get a couple men on, I think we have a good chance.
Patton's pitch as he eyeballs the Sladek lead off of first base. He throws a ball on that first pitch because I think Sladek's messing with him a little over there.
Yeah, and Jesse Drost tried to show a little bit of a fake bunt there. It was high and outside, so I think he's got him a little nervous, and he shows the bunt again. Foul back tip to the back of the backboard as he shows bunt.
Actually, nothing here that doesn't surprise me from Talganoff. I mean, you're behind 1-0. Jesse Drost has got to get a bunt down because we got to advance the runner.
No question. If you see Allen down there doing all the signs, the biggest sign is he's rubbing his hands together, and I don't know if that's because he's cold or that's a sign, Scott.
No, he's frozen. I'm frozen. Ooh, man, Patton delivers that ball to where it's Sladek off balance, but Sladek gets back.
Sladek had a big lead there, Scott, and this guy's a lefty, and he kicked that foot straight out, and it was straight towards first base, and it was a great fake, and he almost caught him.
Man, Patton now eyeballs him again, says, hey, try that again, and I will throw you out. He comes to the plate with that, and it's called a ball. So now we sit here at 2 balls, 1 strike, and the Charlevoix batter, Jesse Drost, checking his third base coach, finding out what's going on. And here's Patton. He looks at first. He brings it home. Drost squares to bunt, and people attempt.
Yeah, he missed the ball there. It was a little low. I don't know if it was a sinker or just the wind caught it, but he had his bat squared for a bunt, and the ball went right underneath it, and that's strike 2, Scott.
And so 2 strikes now. Drost probably going to check again with Talganoff to make sure what's going on here. We're down 1-0, and we're sitting at 2-2 the count. Patton was just looking at Sladek on first base, and here's your pitch now. 2-2, Drost your batter. Patton goes to first base with it, but, man, Sladek diving back.
Yeah, that was good. Actually, I think Dylan was expecting that one a little bit better, Scott. He was back a little bit for that first one. He almost caught him off base, but this time Dylan was waiting for it, and he got back good with a nice dive.
Drost now has his sign. Patton, he checks the runner. Sladek leading off first, and here's Patton now. He checks the runner again. Another look, a long look this time. He comes to home plate, and, man, he brings a strike, and that is an out.
Well, that was a good pitch, and he was watching Dylan Sladek, and it's really important, and they know it's important right now if that Raider can get a guy to second, and then one base hit scores him for a tie game, Scott.
So now coming to the plate for Charlevoix, I like this. Andrew Potter,
our shortstop, and the number 1 leadoff hitter. So if we could get a base hit out of him, we'd be in good shape with Colby Harriman coming up next.
Patton now in the windup. He goes to first base. Sladek diving back.
He misses the ball. He missed the ball, but not far enough to where Dylan could get back up and run to second.
Sladek dives back. He'd have been safe anyways, but the ball going off of Sladek's shoulder, and first baseman making a quick recovery. Here's Patton now. He's checking the home plate for the signs. He looks over to first at Sladek. Sladek with a nice lead, and here comes to first, and this time he throws it with intent. Man, I'm telling you what, Sladek, he's getting off there dangerously, John.
This guy, Patton, is really throwing a heater over there to first base, but Dylan's getting a good lead, and he needs to. We want him to get to second base, obviously, but, boy, he's thrown 3 or 4 almost in a row over there to first base, Scott. He wants to know.
This time he comes home, and Pato around on the ball. Looks like a base hit.
Oh, the center fielder rushes over and grabs it.
Man, but we may be in trouble.
Back to first here. Oh, and he's safe.
Dylan Sladek, very guilty of the same thing I had, John. I thought there's no way he tagged that ball. I thought it was going right over his head, but the wind too stiff.
Andrew Potter hit a great shot to left center field. It was really a nice shot, which looks like it was going to be a base hit, but hung up in that air, Scott. Like you said, the center fielder grabs it and throws a bullet back to first base and almost caught Dylan off guard.
Yeah, so 1-0 here. Central Lake on top. This brings Harriman to the plate, and we've got 2 outs. Here comes Patton's pitch. It's outside. The runner goes, and a throw down to second. It's out of control. He needs to take the next base, does Sladek, and he's going there. Talganoff saying, hold up, boys. We got a man on third now, Jeff.
Dylan Sladek went to steal second base as it was a hit and run. Kobe took a swing and not a great pitch, but it did stop the catcher Kiesel from really getting it off there. Good Scott, and he got it outside to the second baseman who missed it, and Dylan Sladek goes on to third base. So here we are, one out. Actually, 2 outs, sorry.
John, Kobe just doing a great job of making the catcher have to stay down there.
No question. It's perfect baseball. That's exactly what you're supposed to do on that hit and steal, or hit and run.
Here we go now. Runner on third. Patton comes to the plate, and look at Harriman. He's around on it. It's a fly ball up to center. He's underneath it. He corrals it, unfortunately, for the Raiders.
That was a great hit, Scott, right to deep center field, but with that big wind coming back in your face, there's no way that's going to get out of here.
That's 3 outs, buddy.
3 outs, and we're down to the bottom of the
What's Ernie Harwell say on something like that?
We're not to the 7th inning stretch.
Oh, okay.
It's a long time. All right. K-Line rushes under it.
Today's contest, you guys, brought to you in part by Talganoff and Snyder. Talganoff and Snyder, proud supporters of Charlevoix sports, basketball, football, and now baseball. They're attorneys dedicated to service, and they'd be happy to serve you. Call Alan Talganoff or Valerie Snyder at 231-547-3400 or stop by their new office at the corner of M66 and 31. Also, John, Northern Michigan Sports Medicine, helping you get back into action quicker. Northern Michigan Sports Medicine has a location near you. Go to northernmichigansportsmed.com for all the details.
And Ron Agnello, CPA, Scott. Go Raiders from Ron Agnello. He's a certified public accountant here in town. See Ron for all your tax and business and planning needs. Again, also Behan Window Cleaning. Dean Behan and Behan Window Cleaning are proud to support the Charlevoix baseball team. Some of the individual sponsors, Scott, real quick if I can get through them. The Farmer family, the Talganoff family, Corrine Henry, Pam Dross, the Zip family, and Kurt Heckendorn.
I got Ty Talganoff bringing some stats over here for you, John. So when you want, this is the 4th inning here, or the start thereof, right, of the 4th inning.
Exactly. We're at the top of the top of the 4th. Sorry, Scott. Yep. It is still 1-0 Central Lake. It's been an awful tight game. It's been a pitching duel.
Yeah, we've got a little conference on the mound here with Zip and his first baseman and third baseman because they're trying to decide whether this big kid with the wheels,
Buffman, number 1 Buffman,
what he's got going. So Zip brings a curveball, and that first one is just exactly that, a ball, a little low, and Zip checks his signs with Farmer. Farmer now getting ready to deliver or to receive that second pitch, and Farmer gets that, and this one, that curveball called a strike, John.
Oh, that was a nice pitch, I thought. It might have been a little bit outside, but it was good enough for the ump to call a strike. Here we go.
Here comes Zip. He winds up. He brings it. It was high, and the Central Lake player tags it into right field. It's a base hit, and he's safely on to first base, and that is the first batter on, and obviously...
Yeah, the top of the 4th. We didn't want that, but, it caught him in on the hand, Scott. It was a little inside, and he kind of just blooped it over the first baseman's head into shallow right field.
Now, Hiltonen was hitting that ball, pulling this thing. So hopefully Isaac is aware because this is a kid that hurt us.
And here comes Kobe Harriman in on the phone. We caught him.
Jordan Farmer put absolute beanie down there, and Dross turns the wrong way.
I think that's what happened. He had him cold, and the guy dove right underneath his glove and back to first base because they got the bunt on right now. Kobe Harriman on third base is coming in.
John, Hiltonen actually squares to bunt. Farmer shoots a beanie down there.
I thought he had him, Scott, for sure, because he was getting that big lead off and took off on that bunt.
Here's the windup from Zip. He fakes at first. We'll start this whole thing over again. The Trojans now with their leadoff batter on first base. Zip now checks with Farmer for the sign. He looks at his first base runner, and here comes this ball, and I'm going to tell you what, he brings a gasser high, and it's a strike.
Beautiful fandom right there. He took a big cut at it. Now it's 2 strikes and no balls. By the way, Scott, I look over at the Lady Raiders, and in the 5th inning right now, it's tied 4-4 with Central Lake.
Here comes Zip with his 2-strike pitch, and he brings a curveball in.
Oh, and it was a beauty, but it was a little low, Scott. I thought he had him. The guy looked at him pretty good.
Zip with a really good curveball, man. We don't see a lot of it. That thing dove right into the dirt.
Right.
Zip brings a fastball, and you're going to sit down on that.
Got him.
Yeah.
Struck him out. That was perfect. 35's got a strikeout, Hiltonen. And up to bat comes number 20. They're back to the top of the order, the pitcher, Patton, Scott.
Pitcher, their leadoff batter, Patton, a baseball player from Central Lake, big time, and a family of baseball players. So here he comes, Zips in the windup, got a man on first base. He brings the first one outside, ball one.
Last time in the second, Scott, he had a double. He had it looks like a single. He grounded out in the first inning and had a double in the second.
Remember, his double actually between center and left field, right where you might expect him as a lefty. Here comes Zip. He brings that pitch to the plate, and it's also ball, so that'll be 2 balls, no strikes, and he's got a runner on first base, he being Patton, their pitcher, and their leadoff batter, John.
Yeah, he hasn't showed any signs of bunt like the last guy Buffman did at all. The big guy Buffman was showing bunt. This guy looks like he wants to rip it again, Scott.
Yeah, well, and obviously their coach not wanting to take the bat out of his hand, so he's got the green light all the way, and you see it here. That ball is ball 3 as Tommy Zips pitch a little high. One thing you got to be careful. He's definitely got to get on. He's got to push that back foot off, John, because he's got to get on top of this thing with this wind.
No questions. Alan was talking about he has a little trouble when he's got people on. Oh, that was a little high, and he took a big cut at a foul ball.
Man, thank God for that piece of plywood, buddy. That was coming at us underneath this goofed up net we got.
Well, you know what? I'm not worried about you, Scott, if you get hit, but I don't want this WMKT radio equipment to get hurt. You know.
Well, Marshall would tell me that this thing we're on right here, this is like $12,000 for this thing. So I hope not too. Ooh, and here comes that pitch, and Zips ball ripped into left field. Isaac comes up with it clean, brings it into Potter at the shortstop. We've got a runner on first and second. Nobody out here.
One out. I guess they got Ed Huffman out, but they got one out, men on first and second. It was a great rip. Zip has a little not trouble, I would say, but he was like a little bit high on those left-handed hitters. He hasn't faced too many of them, but he was throwing them kind of high.
He needs to push off the back foot.
I think you're right. He gripped and ripped that, and it went right in between the third and shortstop and right out to left field.
One out now, the light gets turned on. When I said no outs, there was no light on. So I'm going by the scoreboard, buddy, because we don't know how to do it. Another one you see, I see the tendency here, that ball way high as the first pitch to this Zielinski batter, again high. Zip has this tendency only out of the stretch, okay? In other words, when he's on the mound and can throw that high kick up there, he brings this thing in.
No question. Zielinski back in the first got a single, Scott.
Zielinski takes that second pitch from Zip, and that's a strike. So we're 1-on-1 here as we set with one out and runners on first and second for the Trojans from Central Lake.
Top of the fourth inning, Trojans lead 1-0 to the Raiders. Raiders trying to hold them now with guys on first and second.
Zip, he winds up, he brings her to home, and that ball fouled off behind the first base. And I'll tell you what, Zielinski, right-handed batter, behind that fastball from Zip, John.
No question about it. It was a good pitch, and it was cutting a little bit low. I don't know if it was part of a slider, and he took a big cut at it. It was a foul tip-off.
Yeah, it's not blowing 20 anymore. It's like 40.
No, I don't know what it is, but I know my fingers. I can't feel them anymore.
Zip, he winds up, he brings her to Farmer, and that is a little low. So we sit here now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zielinski checking his signs down to the third base coach. Runners on first and second. They extend their leads now, their lead off the bases. And look at Zip. He brings it to the second baseman.
Well, he needed to check those runners, Scott, because those guys were getting a pretty good lead, like you said, and I think he needed to go around the second and check those runners a little bit. But this is a very important pitch, people, because we got 2-2, 1 out with guys on first and second, so this is a big pitch coming up.
Here comes Zip. He winds up, and he fakes the ball to the second base as, again, both runners for Central Lake getting extended lead off their bags, and I'll tell you what, Zip didn't like it.
No, he didn't. And 42 Zielinski standing in there. Here we go.
Here comes Zip's pitch. Line to third base. Herman can't come up with it. She was an absolute line shot. Isaac Kloster fields the ball in left field for the Raiders, and he gets her in, and now Zip will reset as we look now with 3 orange uniforms on all the bases.
Yeah,
bases loaded.
Bases loaded, unfortunately. And, you know, Kobe had a shot of that, and I know that the grass is a little bit higher, obviously, than the dirt, and it kind of got right underneath his glove, unfortunately. I don't think it was a huge mistake because it was a pretty hard hit ball, but that's too bad he couldn't have fielded that.
1 out, bases loaded for the Central Lake Trojans. Zip pitch in the dirt, and that's going to bring a run home. Farmer fields it.
Oh, no.
He can't come up with it. or come up with the throw to the pitcher, Zip, and they score another run now, they being the Central Lake Trojans. They lead this contest 2-0, John, and we've still got the 2 runners on base.
No question. Here comes Alan Talganoff out to the mound. I think he wants to settle him down a little bit, Scott. He wants to get out there and have a talk with him, and the other players come. They got gentlemen on second and third now with 1 out. What happened was the ball was a little bit low in the dirt, Scott, and it took a bad bounce and went right off of the catcher's front protection and went right over his head. When he turned around to come back in it, the guy on third was running home, and when he turned around to throw it, it was almost too late, Scott.
You know, we got to be careful relying on, I want to make sure I'm not hooting on somebody, but we can't rely on that scoreboard.
And you might be right, because it still says 1-0, and we know it's 2-0.
You already saw that they led me into the no-out situation when there was 1 out. Now, remember, I can say this because it's you sitting over there. You're supposed to be keeping track of the outs, buddy.
Am I? Well, you know, I'll do my little X's and O's if I have to. But, you know, again, it's my first time. I thought we were playing basketball. But I don't know what we're doing. I'll keep track. You just don't say anything. Where's Vogelheim? I don't know. Oh, don't say that. Here we go. Zip with the first pitch, and it's low outside a little bit. Ball 1.
Zip brings the ball and a fastball on this crucial batter here, because we're sitting here in a situation now. The scoreboard turns off.
Yeah, it just went off. It's back on now, buddy. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
No, it's shorting out again.
Here we go.
You know that it's 2-1 so far. So, and we know that I think it's 2-2, right?
No, I think it's 3-1 actually. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Okay, they just turned it on. You're right. 3 balls, 1 strike, and here comes one right down the pipe. That's a strike.
Good one. Outside corner. He hit it nice and low.
Full count. Man on second and third. And that scoreboard is
really... They just changed it to 1 strike, so I'm not sure. Maybe the ump knows.
I'm not saying anything.
Here we go. Another important guy's on second and third.
He winds up.
Oh, it's a beautiful pitch, strike.
Yeah.
So I guess apparently he's not walking off, Scott, so now it's full count.
All right. Runners again on second and third.
Well, at least they gave the Raiders a score up there. Now it says 1-1, Scott, so I'm not sure.
Big time.
We got a free run. Here we go. Oh, and he took a fast cut at it. Scott, strike 3.
Yep, Zip's pitch outside. The batter helps Zip, and he's mad. He throws that batting helmet down because he helped the cause there for the second out, John, of this inning here in the 4th, the bottom of the 4th, I might add. And here comes their power position.
Yeah, number 4. This is number 2, King. He's in the 4th batting position, so we have to be real careful of this guy.
He hit
him. First pitch.
Well, he had a place for him if there's anything to find a positive about that.
I was almost going to say, Scott, it wouldn't be a bad idea to almost walk him, because now we got any bag again with 2 outs, and their 4th power hitter was up. So obviously he wasn't planning to do that. I know he was trying to throw one outside a little bit, inside, and it just got away from him a hair.
Well, it puts the big kid actually a kind of effective deal there. You may have wasted a few pitches trying to have the same thing happen, because now you've got an out at any base, all right? You've loaded them up now with 2 outs, so Zip's got to just kind of dig down here and bring some gas.
No question about it. We need to with these 2 outs now. This is really important. If we could strand 2, it would really help.
Here's the windup. Zip brings this pitch, and it's inside. That's 3 pitches now inside from young Tommy Zip here. So that's the first ball.
I don't know if he's getting flustered, Scott, or he's just losing his control a little bit with this wind. I'm not sure, because the last few pitches, now that was a good pitch down low, and he took a big cut at it.
Yep, Zip's second pitch, the net result 1-1 here as your batter. A dead pull hitter. He pulls that thing right at the Charlevoix dugout.
The only good news is this King was up in the first inning, and he did strike out, Scott, so maybe we can get him again and retire this inning.
Here comes Zip. He brings the ball to the plate, and again, dead pull hard to the third base coach. So now Zip in a position where he can waste one here. He's got 2-1.
That's the point. And last in that one inning where we lost that run, he had the guy. He's got 1 and 2 on him right now. He could throw one away, see if he goes for it. And he throws the curveball, and Colby Herman bobbles the ball a little bit, throws it over to first, and the first baseman misses it. It was kind of a little bit of a wild throw. The guy scores coming home, and we have runners
Actually, you got a runner. Absolutely, they're definitely on the corners. And here we just again, John. I hate to keep bringing up this, but we can't seem to close the door. We've been in a situation here for the last 3 batters with 2 outs.
Well, it's the same thing on every inning. On 3 innings, we get to 2 outs, and then what happens? And he had that guy, and actually Colby got the ball okay. It was just a hair of a ball, but it was just the throw was wide to the first base.
Here's Zip now. He winds up, fakes it to third, and then looks to first. All runners safely staying there, so we'll start this process again. Again, we've got...
they scored twice, Scott, on that, so it's 4-0.
Well, this ball, Sutherland actually a little late, but he fouls that thing, and in this case, it'd be south of first base.
Right. Number 1, Kiesel's up, and he grounded out in the 3rd inning for one of the outs. But we got guys on the corner, 1st and 3rd right now.
Sutherland. This is Sutherland batting.
Oh.
They've got your...
No, you're right, Kiesel. That's right. The number was wrong. It's number 1. You're right. I'm sorry, Scott.
Here comes Zip now. He looks at third base runner, and then a line shot right to Potter. He fields it cleanly, tosses the ball to the second baseman, and that at least ends this bleeding inning, if you will, where the Central Lake Trojans come up with a pair of runs to add to the 2 that they'd already had. So Central Lake really in control here, John. 4-0 at the end of this 4th inning.
Right. Well, top of the 4th, we're going to the bottom of the 4th with the Raiders coming up, and they really got to do something now, Scott. It's unfortunate, but every inning it seems like we get to the 2-out thing, and they get a couple of hits, and then a couple of little mistakes, and now we're down 4-0.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, you're getting into a situation here where, not like professional baseball, there's only 7 innings so to a contest. So not 9 like, most folks are familiar with. So you're sitting here in the 4th where Charlevoix has got to start digging these runs back one at a time.
No question. And, the last inning or so, we had the leadoff man on, and then we couldn't do anything with it, Scott. And what we need to do is get some of these guys going. I think get them fired up, and I think we could come right back into this game yet. We've had runners. We've had some good hits, and I think we have a chance, but we have to start now. Like you say, there's only 7 innings, so we can't wait till the last inning to do anything.
The one thing that you can say, if you're me sitting here in this chair, is that Patton, their leadoff hitter, and their pitcher always around the plate. Even when he's throwing a ball, John, it's not like anywhere. It's not in the dirt or anything.
No,
and
you're right. He's there every time. There might be a little bit in or out with what he's trying to do, but he's right there all the time.
Well, I want to remind you that this is Charlevoix Red Raider Baseball brought to you by 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. I've also got to remind you that WMKT Charlevoix, Traverse City, and UP, W221BQ, Petoskey, and Harbor Springs. John? Al folding his hands down there, and he's wanting Mr. Farmer to give him the start to this inning. And the first pitch by Patton, it's swung at and fouled back by Farmer.
But I tell you, he must have had a talk with him because he took an awful big cut at it there, Scott. I mean, he was really swinging for the fence, but, he's a big guy, and I think he hits the ball good, and we just got to see what we can do here.
0-1 now. Here comes Patton now to Farmer. He brings it inside way tight. It actually looked like it hit. Yeah, it did.
It caught him on the side there, and he did have a single in the first, and now he's back on in the 4th. So, again, we got the leadoff guy on, Scott. I can't tell you how important this is. Now we got to get the rally going.
Well, here's your pitcher, sophomore Tommy Zip, real athletic kid. One thing we know from basketball, this kid's not just got wheels. He's athletic. He can get off the floor.
Back in the first, he popped up to second base to get an out, but I think he's ready to go right now.
Pitch runner coming in for Farmer is number 17. I apologize. I don't have him on mine. So, there you go.
Paul Stoll. So he's a sub, and he's coming in to run, so he'll have to go into the game, Scott. We'll see where they put him.
Yep, and here's Zip now. Patton checks his runner. His windup comes to the plate. He's outside to the left-handed hit or the right-handed right-handed hitting Zip. So that ball a little considerably wide. We haven't seen him like that.
And it was a good eye because he almost thought about taking a cut at it. Here it comes again. It was outside again, and he took a big cut at it. Same pitch he had.
And we have the perfect vantage point here, like Telganoff said. That ball was 1.5 feet outside. Watch your catcher. He's lined up outside.
The guy on first, Stolt, is getting a big lead. The third baseman's in looking for a bunt, and he throws the same pitch again, way outside and high. He knows.
I would too.
I know. Well, he took a cut at one of them, but I think he's got to sit there and wait and see if this guy's going to throw one into him.
No balls. There should be 2 balls. That scoreboard can't be right.
No, that's
2 balls and 1 strike. Because he swung
That's
one.
right, yeah. And he's got 2 balls, so it should be. And the scoreboard just went out.
Wow, here
and
comes
he took
one.
a big cut at it right at us, Scott.
Yep, Zip on it, actually. He fouls it directly back at us. So now, and they're having scoreboard issues. So I'm
Well, and I looked over, and the other one went out, too. And you're exactly right, Scott. I'm sure of it.
The count 2-2. Runner on first base is Stolt. He gets a long lead. Here comes Patton. He brings it. This ball gotten around on, and it's going to be tough for your second baseman to handle, but he does. And your pitch runner, Stolt, gets back safely to first base. So that's the first out of that inning. The Zips pop up into right field. I'll tell you what, you talk about some fielding by your second baseman, buddy. That was a
he
wicked
ran
play.
way across the first baseman. It was kind of, in between the first baseman and the right fielder, and that second baseman took off on a dead run, Scott, and it was high up in the air because the wind had it, and got underneath the ball for a good catch.
And your batter now, number 8 for Charlevoix, he takes a ball high from Mr. Patton. Mr. Patton was a little more concerned over there with the first base runner, Stolt, and this is
Shane Sutherland, number 8.
Shane Sutherland now stands in there, right-handed batter. Here comes Patton in the windup. He brings it. Sutherland's foul ball way out of play, and so that'll bring her to one ball, 2 strikes.
Correct, and it's still 4-0 Central Lake in the bottom of the 4th. We do have a runner, Paul Stolt, on first base with 1 out, trying to see if we can advance the runner, Scott.
Sutherland squares to bunt and then gets it back out of there and him called a strike. So now you're sitting here at 2-2.
That was a perfect strike. This guy has not wavered much today, Scott. I mean, he's got pretty good control.
Patton's got outstanding control, John.
And speed. And I don't know if the 20-mile-an-hour wind in our face is helping him or not, but it sure seems to.
And there he goes. Sutherland gets around on it, but Patton fields the line drive, and he tries to set up a double play, but not successful. They get the lead runner at second. That'd be Stolt. He's going to take a seat. The pitcher, Patton, not just with outstanding arm. The kid can field his position. He snags one right off of there and makes the play. Gets the lead runner.
You know what, Scott? He took a look at first, okay, and then he realized he had a runner there, turned around, threw it a hard strike right to second base for the out. They tried to get the runner first and missed him. Number 15, Morgan Stewart up to bat, Scott.
Here's Patton. He winds up. He delivers a runner trying to steal second, and man, your catcher puts an absolute ace down there, and they throw him out trying to steal second base. That'd be Shane Sutherland, a kid with real good wheels, but that ends the inning.
He had him by 1.5 feet or so, Scott. I mean, the catcher threw a strike right down to second base on the right side of the base, right where Sutherland was trying to come in, and that was the third out in the bottom of the 4th.
Charlevoix Raider baseball here, 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. The contest brought to you now. We got to get down here to Ron Agnello, John.
I think Ron Agnello says, go Raiders from Ron Agnello, certified public accountant. See Ron for all your tax and business planning needs. Also by Behan Window Cleaning. Dean Behan and Behan Window Cleaning are proud supporters of Charlevoix baseball. We also have Charlevoix Abstract and Title, Scott. Charlevoix Abstract and Title Agency is your fast, accurate, and professional full-time title company. Give them a call at 547-0792 or visit them at 203 Mason Street, just across from the county building.
Raider baseball, Al, here in the top of the 5th inning.
Did you just say Al?
Oh, what did I say?
You said Al. This is basketball.
Don't punch me, buddy. Yeah, if you called me Al.
Also sponsored by North Coast. I'll let them regroup. North Coast Imagewear. Visit Tracy Peel at North Coast Imagewear in Petoskey for all your custom art, screen printing, and embroidery needs. North Coast is a proud, longtime sponsor of Charlevoix baseball, Scott. Also by Lakeview Maintenance. Dwayne Farmer, you can reach him at 675-9620. And Nathan and Joy Klooster, call Nate and Joy for your natural raised beef, hormone-free, now taking orders for this fall. They're also taking orders for hay, round or square bales, and have grain for sale. Call them at 675-0225, Scott.
Tommy Zip taking the mound here in the top of the fifth now. Did you pronounce it Luchenville?
Luchenville, that's what they told me, exactly.
Luchenville is going to be your leadoff hitter here in the top of the fifth for the Central Lake Trojans. I don't have the results, but I know he definitely was on base one of the two times we've seen him.
He had a single and a run in the second.
Okay, there you go. So the first pitch from Zip, a curveball, and low, so ball one.
He's having a little struggling with those low pitches. I don't know. Boy, that was a beautiful curve and low again, though, Scott.
Yeah, that was an outrageously hard breaking ball from Zip, but again, a little low. Farmer calls for the sign here. We've got a 2-ball count, fastball inside, so that now is
0-3.
0-3.
3-0, or 0-3, sorry. And that's the trouble. You can't get behind these pitches right away.
We're both screwed up.
Let's see, 3-2 it would be, so it's 3-0, right? Yeah, okay, we got to figure baseball.
And here you come. He brings a strike right down the middle of the plate. Your batter, Luchenville, gets around on it, but foul ball. Harriman fields it way to the west of third base here at the Raider Stadium. Zip now with his 3-ball count. He brings 3-1, excuse me. He brings another one, and that's going to put the runner on the lead-off runner, Luchenville.
Too high, Scott. He threw it too high. He had him 3-1, and then he just threw it too high a little bit and walked the first batter, and that's been a little bit of an issue right now. Here comes the Central Lake coach coming up to the umpire and talking, though, for right now.
Well, and what he's saying is he's making a change, so we're going to see a personnel change here on the part of, and you know what's going to happen. He's going to get Patton out of there now.
Oh, that could very well be. Butler's up to bat right now. Oh, they're switching the first base runner. They got a runner in number 27, and I'm trying to find who he is, Scott, right away.
You got the whole list, don't you, buddy? Because I definitely do not.
And you know, unfortunately, here he is. It's Kemenitzer.
Yeah, we don't know.
So he's on first base right now, and I apologize for the names. It's our first try at these people.
Here comes Zip. He winds up. He brings it, and they shoot a line drive right to the second baseman. They get him. Potter tries to turn the double play, and he
does. What a great job. The second baseman grabbed the ball, flipped it up to Potter at shortstop as he was coming across the second base, and he threw it and got him by a foot, Scott.
I'll tell you what, Shane Sutherland with a nice, outstanding double play there from the Charlevoix Raiders.
No question. We really needed that. Now the bases are clear. We're in the top of the fifth with 2 outs. Whoa, and a lot of a wild pitch behind the batter, number 35.
Zip's first pitch to the batter, Hiltonen. Way. To say it's inside, John, it was almost at you.
I know, that was a little bit. Here we go with another pitch right down the middle. Again, he's got, it's right down the middle, but it's low again, Scott. He's had a little difficulty with those low pitches, or really he's trying to hit a certain spot, and it's just not getting it there. It's been low.
Yeah, Zip brings the third pitch to this batter here, and it's also low. So we are definitely 2 balls and 1 strike. With 2 outs as the result of the Potter double play, you're going to see Zip now. He just needs to me, he's trying to aim the ball. And he needs to just rear back and bring the thing.
I think when he started, he was doing that. Like Alan said, his arm was loose, and he was just going back and forth, and he was just gunning. Oh, inside again. Ball 4, Scott.
Yep, and that puts Hiltonen, the kid with really good wheels, on to first base here with 2 outs, top of the fifth. Charlevoix behind 4-0.
Guess who's off the lefty, the pitcher Patton again, and he's had a couple of good things.
That Punisher.
Yeah, and he's the number 1 batter, so we're back to the top of the lineup again, folks.
Left-hand thrower, left-hand batter. He gets on the first, jumps on the first pitch, and Potter's, I hope, going to handle it, and he does. Out number 3, so that is the end of that little rally.
And, we kind of put a stop to that one. And that's the way we should have been playing today, Scott. It really helped to do that. They got the double play. The first pitch to Patton, he hits it up into center field, and actually the shortstop ran back into center field, shallow center field, and made the catch for the 3rd out. It is at the bottom of the 5th now, and we don't have a scoreboard again, but I believe it's 4-0.
It's definitely, I've got it written down now, buddy. So 4-0 is your score here at the bottom of the 5th. Raiders are going to send Isaac Gloster to the plate, I believe. Is that correct? Or
I'll have to see that, and I believe no, it's. We have to look. We want to welcome you again to WMKT, Charlevoix, Traverse City, and the UP for Charlevoix Raider baseball.
Yeah, actually, who we've got up is number 5 for the Charlevoix Raiders.
And I think this is a change, isn't it?
No. Well, or excuse me, 15.
Yeah, that's Morgan Stewart.
Yeah, Morgan Stewart now getting ready to start this inning as far as the Raiders go in the bottom of the 5th here. We need Mr. Stewart to get on base one way or another, as the Raiders have got to get going here. We're behind 4-0, and we're at the bottom of the 5th inning.
Scott, I don't think has this Patton guy walked anybody that you know of?
No,
I don't think he's walked anybody yet today.
Has not.
And that look at that gun from that Kiesel that's behind the plate there. He just threw that down a second like it was nothing.
Kiesel's the kid, the catcher that threw the Charlevoix Raider player out.
Shane Sutherland, I think, was trying to steal second there before. And here we go, number 15. We got Morgan Stewart up in the bottom of the 5th here, folks.
Here's Patton now. He winds up. He brings a pitch outside to Stewart. Stewart looks to the third base coach and says, hey, that was a foot outside.
I think, Scott, they need to be patient, too, because he's been throwing those outside to see if they'll chase him a little bit. That was high again. So I think if they're going to be a little patient, we might be able to get back into this game. Take and pick their pitches and don't run after anything that's bad.
Pitch number 2 there, the net result, ball 2. Stewart now in the lead, and that one is ball 3.
He just missed that on the outside corner again. I think he's been teasing us a little bit with those, and I know he has the control because we've seen it. But hopefully, maybe he's loosened up a little bit, and he's hitting that outside corner, and the umpire's calling him out.
Well, when you're 4 runs behind, you got to have the take on from Talganoff, and that's exactly what Mr. Stewart did. So
he took that pitch, Scott, and it was a strike on the outside corner. So he's staying with that outside pitching. We'll see what this one brings.
Here comes Patton. He winds up. He brings the ball to the plate, and that's a strike. And the official gives
that
the
was
clinch
a sweeter. Morgan could have taken a cut at that one, but he watched her go by.
3 balls now and 1 strike.
No, is it 1 or 2? I think it's 2. This is a full count because he took 2 strikes in a row. It was 0-3, and now this is full count.
Well, yeah, I guess he did change it.
Ball
that
4.
one's in the dirt. That one's in the dirt, and that puts Mr. Stewart on first base. Patton shakes his glove and says, well, that's the first guy I've walked for this ball game. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Central Lake Trojans on top, 4-0. And here comes Isaac Closter to the plate for the Charlevoix Red Raiders.
This is a great kid, Scott. He plays in a lot of sports. I've seen him play basketball for a few years, and he's a good athlete.
Wow, Patton winds up, but he's got a phenomenal move to first base, and he's got Stewart diving back.
He's thrown a few of them outside your home plate. I think he's got a better throw to first, Scott.
Yeah, outstanding. Isaac Closter, your batter. Here comes Patton. He winds up. He throws a strike right down the middle of the plate.
You know, he's got it when he wants to, Scott. I think that was kind of a breaking ball that went right down the plate.
So, no balls, 1 strike is your count. Patton looks over to first base. Nice lead on the part of Stewart, and they're going over there, but Stewart quickly back.
They threw it to first again, Scott, to see
yeah, they sure did.
Him off bag.
Patton, a left-handed pitcher, outrageously good move to first base on the part of Patton on that one. He comes to home. The official says, we got a time called, and so
what happened?
I don't know.
Was it a balk or something? Because something happened, and
they let the runner advance.
Yeah, they let the runner advance. There must have been a balk there.
A balk.
Balk. What did I say, balk?
Balk said balk.
Well, that's like
balk is what you and I have.
You know, Sam's probably going to get balk food.
Balk is what you and I have.
That's true, but
it's too much of it.
Hey, I just heard from the Lady Raiders game over here at the Charlevoix Red Raiders beat the Central Lake Trojans 6-4 in the fast pitch softball.
Charlevoix Lady Raiders actually having an outstanding season. The Hibble girl, both Hibble girls,
right?
Not just fielding their positions phenomenally. The older Hannah Hibble, all conference, maybe even all stater this year, the way she's coming out.
And Coach Hibble as well, you know. And you know where they came from, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Central Lake, buddy. So I don't know how that matched up today, but we're glad the Lady Raiders won their game. Congratulations.
Here's Isaac Closter. And if we looked at the scoreboard and we say that he's got 1 strike, I don't know if we're right or wrong.
Again, and, you know, and I've been keeping track for you, but I did this time. That was high.
Here's the guy pitch, boy. John, Patton's pitch, the last few, high. Okay, Isaac, a short kid, he needs to have the take on right here. But it's 1-1.
Here we go, Scott. We got a guy on second, no outs. We're in the bottom of the fifth. This is our time. Look, and they did it again. You know what happened? Let me tell you. I saw the shortstop go running over there to get behind the bag, and I think he kind of throws
the pitcher off.
Throws the pitcher off, Patton off, and he turns around to look when he's already in his stretch coming this way, and they call it.
Well, here's your windup from Patton. He throws a high outside pitch, and I don't know if this scoreboard thing is right.
I think it's 3-1. I think it's 3-1. We have a guy on third with no outs. Now it's time to come on, Raiders.
Come on, Isaac Closter. Here you go. Patton winds up. He looks to the third base situation, comes home. Isaac puts a bat on the ball. Patton fields it, goes to first with it.
Oh, he dropped it.
And he drops it. He's there. He saves. Oh, my God. Got a man on the corners here. And Closter.
It was a little chop hit right back to the pitcher, Scott. It was high in the air. He had to take a couple seconds to grab it. He threw a strike right to the first baseman who dropped the ball.
He took his eye off. He never even got his glove in there. I mean, it was I agree with you. Right over the base. Look at Pat. He's not happy either.
No. Now, here we go. Got runners at the corner, no outs, bottom of the fifth, 4-0 the Trojans.
And up to bat is Dylan Sladek, it looks like to me.
That is correct. Number 4, Dylan Sladek, the center fielder for Charlevoix Raiders today.
4-0, Raiders behind, but they've got something going here in the bottom of the fifth. Sladek now. He takes a set. Patton, he looks at third, comes home, inside tight. Sladek takes it in this ball one.
Here we go. I think we got him a little flusher. We got guys on the corners. They're worried about us scoring. They need to really seriously look at these pitches because that was really inside, Scott.
Yeah, and Talganoff given this is a great situation. The official steps out now because he's tired of Talganoff taking so long with the sign. So here you go, Sladek. He looked to third base. Patton now checks for signs. Kiesel gives him the sign, and here's Sladek. Patton winds up. He brings the ball in. He's all over that thing.
Coming right back at us, buddy. We're okay. It's behind us.
Hey, good deal. I'm hunched up.
Well, you told me I had to watch there, pal, so we didn't break any equipment.
Yeah, well, you're doing good. That's what we care about. It could hit you or I in the head, and we're okay, but it can't hit this blue pack. You notice it works on the cell phone perfectly.
It sure does, and I think that's 1-1 now. I'm trying to keep track for you a little bit, Scott.
Wait till Barney gets the bill on this.
There you go, Barney. And, thanks for having me today, Scott. I haven't done baseball with you before, but we've been friends a lot of years. We went to high school together.
Here comes Patton now with the pitch. It's right down the middle. Sladek with the take sign obviously on, and it's a correct sign from Talganoff because we got men on the corners and nobody out. So if the scoreboard's right, we've got 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Dylan Sladek. So he's going to go to swinging that bat now. Here comes Patton. He winds up. He brings it home, and he strikes the man.
Took a big cut at it.
Out. So now 1 out, men on the corners. That's Closter on first base, and you've got
Jesse Dross coming up the bat, Scott. He's the 9th bat, and then we'll go back to number 1, Andrew Potter.
Jesse Dross, if you ever need to watch the ball and get onto something, buddy, it's right now. Patton, he takes the sign, looks at first base, and he comes home with that ball, and it's low and in the dirt for ball 1.
Oh, did you see Morgan over there? Stewart, he came about 3/4 of the way home after that pitch, hoping that the catcher missed the ball and he could score.
Yeah, Mr. Stewart getting a great lead. He's trying to fluster the pitcher, and that one's outside, but Dross bunts at it, and we tried to bring him in home. Instead, look at he throws the ball past him, trying to pick Isaac Closter out to second base. Isaac goes all the way to third, and Jesse Dross, the whole net result there is he made kind of a feeble attempt at a bunt, but the net result, not what Talganoff wanted, as the runner trying to steal home is tagged out, but the catcher, Kiesel, he overthrows second base, and that lets Isaac go all the way to third.
Well, Closer was on first base, and we had a guy on third base on the corners, and as soon as the catcher got it, he came home, and I thought he either got a late start at it, Scott, or I'm not exactly sure. Maybe he should have done it when he was throwing it back to the pitcher, but it was a little bit of a weird steal at home.
Patton winds up. He brings her to the plate. Draw a swing and a miss. Here comes Patton again. He brings this ball to the plate, and Dross gets on it a little and fouls it.
A big cut at it. He got a nice foul tip one right behind us over the fence. Back to the other plate, so I'm not quite understanding. The catcher had no problem tagging him out, but when he turned around and threw it to second to try to get closer, he threw it to center field.
Yeah. Here comes Patton. He checks his runners. He brings her home. Dross gets on it, but another foul ball as it heads over in front of Coach Ziff standing on the first base coach's box.
Well, we're in the bottom of the fifth, Scott. We have a man on third. It's still 4-0 in Central Lake, and we're trying to get something going. And I know Coach Allen is trying to get something. That's why he probably tried that steal at home, don't you think?
Well, he was just trying to make something happen as he's behind 4-0. Dross now behind on that 2-3 line, drives right up the middle. Dross with a base hit. It's going to score Isaac Poster. 4-1 now.
There we go, and a great shot. And, it's too bad he tried that steal because we could have been 4-2. But, it's easy to call it now, isn't it?
No, it's perfect. It's our job.
Is it our job? But he's your partner in basketball, so who knows about that? So I don't want him yelling at me later. But it's too bad because we had guys on the corners now. But it is 4-1 now, folks. In the bottom of the fifth, we're calling out a pinch runner for Jesse Dross, who just hit one right up the middle and scored Closter from third base. It was a great shot right up the middle.
Who's his pitch runner now? Number 6.
Number 6 is Luke Klinger, by the way.
Yep, Luke Klinger, and I believe Klinger, a sophomore, up on varsity. I know that's the case.
I'm sure of it.
Man, Klinger, you better watch this a left-hander because Klinger's way off there.
Right. I don't know if he's been watching from the dugout how good a throw this guy has at first.
And he's
there he goes, yep.
Klinger back.
Right.
Klinger back. So, no problem there. I'll tell you what.
He did exactly what we thought he was going to do, go to first base.
The kid's got an outstanding move.
But, we got Andrew Potter up to bat, our first batter in the lineup. And he's done really well today, so let's see what Andrew does.
And look at Patton's pitch.
Oh, man, go. Okay, so what happened, folks, is they get it to the pitcher or to the catcher, and he turns around and throws it to first base to try to cut the leader off, and he throws it by the first baseman, and he goes to second.
Luke Klinger, almost. These kids for Central Lake, John, they've got cannons for arms. Luke Klinger, round second base, a little too far. He got the kid over and he almost went too far.
Oh, that's funny.
So this brings Mr. Potter, your leadoff hitter, to the plate, and he's got a man.
Well, a base hit could score him from second base if it's a good one, Scott?
Yeah. Potter, he looks. Look at Patton. Here he comes. Gasser, inside. Potter, no swing. Ball 1.
We got another message.
Let's repeat that.
I know. He's talking about us.
Get on the Hollanders.
Talking about Hollanders, just because my wife is a Hollander, and apparently you are.
Well, I'll paraphrase it.
Okay.
He said he can't believe he's listening to the radio with a pair of Hollanders and two friends, and one that's a Hollander and one that sleeps with one.
There you go.
Oh, Dudley. What's he doing?
I don't know.
Me up?
We're trying to have a little fun here in the nice cold weather. My fingertips are
I can't feel a thing. I can't even move this.
I know.
Patton's pitch there now. We've got a 3-ball, 1 strike.
And he's been watching real good, Scott, so this is a good batter. Andrew's a smart batter.
Ooh, he nails the thing.
Oh, he's kicking the ball. Go, Andrew.
And he makes it.
And you know what happens? It's right in the dirt to the first baseman, and he tried to scoop it, and it came right out of his glove, and he kind of pushed it forward about 10 feet into the foul territory. Potter did it. Potter with great wheels got there.
Yep.
So guys now on the corners, first and third, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth spot.
1 run in, and you want on this play, I'll tell you what, you want your batter here, your number 2 hitter, Kobe Harriman, to just zing one. Ooh, tight on the first one. Ball 1.
Well, he's looking at that big guy up there, number 10, Kobe Harriman, and he's trying to think, oh, my gosh, this man can rip one. So he's got to turn around, and he's trying to keep him inside on him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And here he comes. His pitch, his second pitch, is fouled back right over our heads. I hope parents are paying attention.
He took a big cut on it, and he foul-tipped it back right over the fence and the net and right behind us.
I would say that you'd have to have hair to stand over there, but I see Ken Rogers, and he doesn't have any hair.
Yeah, that's true. And here he goes. He's winding up again. Oh, and Kobe hits it, and it's going to bounce.
It's tough for him to deal with it.
He's got it. Scores a run. Safe. Yeah, and he scores a run. It was hit to the shortstop, folks, but it was kind of a dribbler that took it stopped right in the grass. The guy had to run up and grab it. Luke Klinger scores. Colby goes to first base, and now we got men at first and second, don't we, Scott?
Bottom of the fifth, John, 4-2. Raiders really got a rally going here.
And it's 2 outs, but we got 2 men on, first and second. And Jordan Farmer's
What's
up.
going on? We got a timeout.
We got a timeout by Coach Talganoff, and here comes the runners and Jordan to go talk to the coach.
I'd like to remind folks that this is Raider Baseball on 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. Tonight's individual sponsors for this contest, the Farmer family, the Talganoff family, Corrine Henry, Pam Dross, the Zip family, and Kirk Heckendorn, John.
Also brought to you by Talganoff and Snyder. Talganoff and Snyder is a proud sponsor of Charlevoix Sports. Their attorneys dedicated to service. They'd be happy to serve you, too. Call Alan or Valerie, 231-547-3400, or stop by their new office at the corner of M66 and US 31. Also sponsored by Northern Michigan Sports Medicine. Help you get back in action quicker. Northern Michigan Sports Medicine has a location near you. Go to northernmichigansportsmed.com for all the details. And I know they can do it, Scott, because I had a new knee there 2 years ago, and I went there, and it was wonderful.
And you're still moving.
I'm still moving. Also brought to you by Rod Agnello, CPA. Go Raiders from Rod Agnello. Certified public accountant. See Ron for all your tax and business planning needs. Behan Window Cleaning, Dean Behan and Behan Window Cleaning are proud to support Charlevoix baseball, Scott.
We got the fifth inning stretch going on here, John. I will tell you this. When you went over there to Northern Michigan Sports Medicine with that knee, you didn't whine at all to Joel. Oh, he started.
Does that sound like me? You know, it wasn't Joel. He was the nice guy. You know, it was Joel. No, you know who got me? It was Lisa Harriman.
Oh,
she was,
actually, that was nice to me, buddy. I was over there. You know, when you get tired, we both end up over there laying on the table.
Well, no doubt about it.
John Fry.
That's right, exactly. So that's pretty funny. But, no, they do a good job over there. They're great people to work with. Also, Charlevoix Abstract and Title, Scott, is a great title agency for fast, accurate, and professional full-time service for title companies. Give them a call at 547-0792 or visit them at 203 Mason Street, just across from the county building. It looks like we're coming back. They had a long time out, folks.
Jordan Farmer, your batter now, and we've got a man on second base, and we have 2 outs. Jordan Farmer back into the ballgame. He takes strike one from the new pitcher.
We have a new pitcher there, don't we? Number 42. Let's find out who he is. That's Zelensky. He was playing earlier over on, I think, second. No, he was on the outfield.
Well, that was strike one, and Jordan Farmer getting around on that thing, and I can't even see that where it's going, but it's behind us somewhere.
Something. This guy's got a gun, too. That was a little high and inside, and Jordan took a big cut at it, but he's throwing it pretty good.
This kid is a long, lanky kid, and his arm is just like a slingshot, buddy.
It looks like it. I mean, these guys got some nice pitchers. We got guys at first and second.
2 outs.
Oh, what a curveball he threw in there, Scott, and it went right by Jordan.
Jordan Farmer strikes out for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. So 4-2 your score. Central Lake Trojans on top of the Raiders, but the Raiders with a nice bottom of the 5th inning, John.
No question about it. At least we got some runners out there. We put the first guy on. We came back 4-2, so we've cut their lead in half. Now we're going to the top of the 6th, Scott. We want to tell everybody that this game is brought to you by WMKT Radio, Charlevoix, Traverse City, and also 92.1 FM, the talk station.
Yeah, Charlevoix Raider baseball.
Did I say that
first time?
So this
first time we've done it.
The inaugural game?
As far as I'm concerned, I've done this broadcasting thing for a long time, just never a baseball game. I can't tell those listening at home. I gave Talganoff my reasoning behind it, but I can't say it. You know, so
well, and Scott invited me because obviously the person that he usually talks with is the guy that's the coach of the Charlevoix Red Raiders. So they couldn't have him, although he did come over and he did a pretty good job here, Scott.
Yeah. Talganoff? Yeah. He's a talker. The problem we've got, John, is we should have listened to my dad. Dad said that with John Murray and I doing the radio, we ought to get a sign that says, "You shut up, I'll talk."
And then we had it back and forth, and you just use it for me.
Right, so that way we don't have to talk at the same time.
And I know, and I apologize. You know, this is my first time at it, and you know I'm a good talker. But at the other end of that, you just got to make sure that you lead me in or whatever, or tell me not to talk.
I know. John, I want to say this here as we get ready to start the top of the 6th inning here with Central Lake now getting ready to come to bat. darn salesmen, they make me nervous.
Now, come on. Isn't that because you are one?
Oh, I don't know for sure.
I don't know either, so, buddy.
I think what it is really is it's a facilitator. You just try to help people get what they want.
I agree completely, and sometimes we can't, we try to tell them what they want, but so they don't listen to us all the time, Scott.
I know.
I think they need a new house or a new boat, or both.
Okay, now tell me who the batter is. Zielinski, right?
Yeah, number 42. Yeah, he turned on and came our new pitcher, came in with 2 outs, and got the batter right away with 3 strikes.
Here's Tommy Zip. He winds up. His first pitch to start this top of the 6th is in the dirt, and it's ball 1.
Low again a little bit. He's had a little trouble struggling with that today, but for the most part, he's been really accurate.
He looks at Farmer to get his sign, and basically Zielinski squares up here, and boom, here comes a fastball right down the middle, and he gets around on it, and it's going way over Isaac Kloster's head. Isaac finally runs that thing down, gets it to Potter, and Zielinski all the way to second base on a double.
Nice double. Kloster was playing a little bit on left field. Nobody's hit it over his head yet today. Nobody's hit one that deep today. He just connected with a fastball down the middle and cranked it right out there to left field.
Well, and this is easily a 30-mile-an-hour wind. So, I can guarantee you nobody's expecting that thing going over the head.
I couldn't believe it. He had a lot of power on that ball, but he's a big guy.
Zip. He checks his lead runner there at second base. Then he comes home with a fastball, and it's strike 1.
It's number 11. Davis is up to bat right now.
Zip looking like he's actually settled down, John.
I believe it. Davis had a single back in the first, and I think he grounded out back in the 4th.
His second pitch is a little low. That's ball 1, so we're 1-1 is the count. Central Lake Trojans with a runner on second base. Zip, he checks him. He winds up.
They need to hold him right
again, now. And here's your pitch. It's a strike. Boy, that's a wicked curveball.
That did drop quite a bit right there. We can't see in front of that umpire a little bit, and that dropped right in there, Scott.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Zip now. He checks for the sign, then checks his runner on second base. Checks him again. Here's your windup, the pitch. And it is fouled away outside of the dugout behind the first baseline, and that puts us here at 2-2 because I think they're behind on the ball now.
Well, it could be, Scott. I was trying to keep track, but I say it was 2-1. So if it is 2-2, he has to be a little bit careful, or he could give one away if it's only 1 ball. But we'll check that here in just a second.
Zip now checks the runner on second base. He winds up. Here comes his pitch, and it again is fouled off. This one's going all the way over into the Lady Raiders field, and so now I believe the count should be full.
Well, he took a cut at it, so it would have been another strike, Scott. But he threw that outside a little bit. I think he's ahead of him a little bit. It could be 2-2.
Here's Zip now. Checks the runner, and he wheels to second. Wow. A nice little nifty move from him.
Actually, it was pretty good. He did throw the ball to second to try to check the runner back. He didn't throw it as hard as he could or anything, but it was kind of a nice little throw, but it was very effective.
The kid almost got him. So here comes Zip. He checks the runner, winds up high and tight.
Almost got him. Oh, and the runner steals third. Nobody watching, Scott.
Jeepers, Jenny.
He just turned around and took off, and the catcher had the ball. And
Zielinski, the kid's got great wheels. He just kind of walked his way to halfway, and then boom, he was there. Zip checks the runner, winds up. Well, I'll tell you what, the net result of that deal right there is third runner on third base. Zip in a little bit of a hole here. He brings it, and that pitch fouled again.
Another foul. Talks about 3 of those, Scott. It is 4-2 right now, top of the 6th inning. We do have, I don't know if we have any outs, do we? That Zielinski was the first batter.
I don't know whether we should say that
I don't think we do.
But it's definitely, according to the scoreboard, a full count.
Yeah, here we go.
Zip now checks his runner at third, and he just gives a little fake move over there to Kobe Harriman, and now he'll have to reset.
I don't know if you can hear it, folks, over the radio, but it must be blowing at least 25 right in our face right now, Scott.
And I'm absolutely froze. Zip's pitch way high, and he walks him. It was a full count.
Guys still on the corners now, first and third right now. Nobody out. Top of the 6th, 4-2 Central Lake.
And this isn't a good thing.
And here comes Alan Talganoff right now, out to the mound to have the thing. Yeah, this is King.
Coming for your batter here is number 2 for Central Lake.
He struck out in the first and then I think he hit a double or something, didn't he? I think in the third.
Well, and that wasn't even it. Remember, this is the kid that about ripped Kobe, the third baseman, right off the bag.
Right,
the line drive that was, thank the good Lord, foul. So here we are, 4-2, Central Lake on top, and they are really threatening here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, all the players are out together at the mound. They're having to try to talk with Tommy Zip right now. Allen went back in for a glove for somebody. I don't know if they're making a switch, but I think number 7 there, Zip's coming off the field, isn't he?
Yeah, you're actually making a pitching change right now. You've got Jesse Drost, your first baseman, now going to take those pitching duties over from Zip.
Yeah, he just threw his first warm-up pitch, and I'm not sure who went to first base then. Does that look like Andrew Potter over there on first base?
Nope.
I can't see. That's number 18, which would be Tag McCready or Logan Klein. I think that's Logan Klein. You're right. It's Logan Klein right now. Just took over the duties at first base. They moved Jesse Drost to pitcher, and I believe
sweet little sidearm.
Well, he's kind of one of those tall, lanky guys too, and he's a right-hander, folks, and he threw a couple practice curveballs in there. They're looking pretty good, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, number 14, Jesse Drost. He's got almost a submarine. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he got that sidearm stretch a little bit, Scott. I want to give kudos to Tommy Zip, though. For the first 2 or 3 innings, he held him in there and was throwing pretty good. I think he just I don't know if he lost his control or it's the wind or he just got tired.
I think actually what happened to Tom is he went from that fluid, just rear back and throw the ball to trying to aim it. He struggled on a couple batters, and then I felt like he was letting off.
I think you're right, Scott. I think maybe nerves got him a little bit, maybe, that kind of thing. So we'll have to wait and see. Somebody just walked up behind us.
Jack Hodge is married to... Well, I never mind.
What's her name, Gail? I can't think. She just brought us a couple hot chocolates, and we thank you very much but can you get me a big bowl so I can put my toes in it?
Gabe bringing us hot chocolate. Now, John.
Here we go, Scott. He throws the first pitch out to number 2. Sorry about that. And the guy cranks it over to shortstop, who throws the ball over to first base and misses Potter. Everybody's safe. The runner scores.
Yeah, 5-2 now on that little debacle. So I can tell you this. That the net result that Coach Telgenoff had in mind, that was definitely not it.
No, I know.
It up on paper like that.
He did throw a good ball right down the middle, but the guy tagged it right to the shortstop. He had a good chance at it.
Here's Drost.
Threw it over to first, and he just happened to miss it.
Drost winds up. He brings a gasser right in. He fields that line drive right back at him, gets it over to first base, and the first baseman bobbles another one.
Oh, no. And he's a sheer glove, Logan Klein, all the time. I don't know what's happening here. And the first one, I think it was outside, and he missed it, but that one was right at him, Scott. He could have had that one easily.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and in tons of time. So Jesse Drost actually throwing all strikes so far, but the result not going the Raiders' way at all.
Sutherland up for Central Lake, Scott. And I will tell you, Jesse's thrown 2 pitches to 2 batters, and they swung at both the first pitches and are on base.
And that's his first ball. So Jesse Drost brings that first pitch to Sutherland, and it's ball 1. 5-2, Central Lake on top with the Charlevoix Raiders. Here's Drost. He winds up. He brings it in. It gets right around on there, does Sutherland. It's fielded cleanly.
Got him.
Fielded cleanly by your right fielder, and he shoots a BB over there to Potter and gets him
Potter. The guy, I don't know, on second base kind of went about halfway to third base, Scott, and then the right fielder catches the ball, throws a BB, like you said, over to Potter and catches him off guard at second base, and he's out.
Well, I will tell you something. Your right fielder, with an outrageously nice job of fielding, and he's showed an arm. He shoots that ball over there to Mr. Potter.
I know.
And ends the inning. So
again, sponsored. We want to thank everybody for listening to the game today. Sponsored by WMKT Charlevoix, 1270 AM, 92.1 FM. The talk station.
Gotcha. Well, I'd like to remind everybody that this is WMKT Charlevoix, Traverse City in the UP, W221BQ, Petoskey, and Harbor Springs. Again, Raider baseball, this is John. Murray, in my first go at this. So our first game ever broadcasting a Charlevoix baseball game.
Well, it's kind of our first time broadcasting anything, Scott. So,
I'd like to say thanks, John.
I'd like to say thank you for trusting in me that I wouldn't get you in too much trouble here today, Scott.
I'm sure we are, but we just don't know it yet. So no problem. Again, we're now heading into the bottom part of the sixth inning. 5-2 is your score. Central Lake Trojans on top of the Charlevoix Raiders, and up to bat is going to be number 7, and that's Tommy Zip.
Some of the individual sponsors, just so you remember, Scott, is the Farmer family, the Talganoff family, Corrine Henry, Pam Dross, the Zip family, and Kurt Heckendorn. Just want to get us through a few of those. We're right now going to the bottom of the sixth.
And you can hear all my phone calls that I'm missing.
Oh, that's okay. Here, buddy. Who we got coming up now is number, is that Tommy Zip coming up, number 7?
Here we go.
So we have the pitcher coming up that we just, he takes a big cut at it.
Fastball right down the middle for strike 1 on Zip. Number 42, the pitcher is Zielinski.
That's correct.
Zielinski, about a 6-foot kid that's got an arm. When he releases it, it feels like he's reaching out and shaking hands with you. Zip gets around on that fastball, and he fouls it back over our head, John. So that no balls and 2 strikes here on your leadoff batter here in the bottom of the sixth inning for Charlevoix.
Again, they need to take their time, pick their pitches, because we need to get guys on base.
Wow, what a curveball. 3 pitches, buddy, and that was a BB.
Man, he threw a big curveball that ended up way outside, Scott, but from where my vantage point was, it came across the corner of the plate, was way outside. Zip took a big cut at it, strike 3.
And here you go. This is Shane Sutherland now, your number 2 batter. Zielinski, he winds up, and he brings a fastball right down the middle.
A beautiful pitch.
Shane Sutherland takes that, and I agree with you. They've got to get runners on base, so they do need to be a little fussy. Here's Zielinski. He gets his sign. He winds up. He brings another strike, and that's fouled back kind of over our heads, John, for strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Zielinski, a kid right around the plate with a tremendously good arm. I'm talking live, but he's got a curveball.
Well, both these guys they've had out here, Scott, have been great pitchers. Good control, nice speed. Another curveball, but he gets a piece of it. He hits it over into shallow right field. The second baseman rushes over, catches it for the second out, Scott.
Yep, Central Lake's second baseman shown tremendously good skills, in my opinion, as that kid has been all over the field for Central Lake.
Again, he ran way out in between the right fielder and first baseman, probably, 50 feet behind him. He took a big cut.
Look at it, Zielinski. He winds up, brings that fastball right down the middle. And a wise thing on his part, because the Raiders behind, and they got to get runners, so they're going to take that first pitch.
Number 15, Morgan Stewart up the bat, Scott.
Here is Zielinski, brings a curveball in that doesn't curve. She's inside for ball 2, and I'll tell you what, right on his chin, guys.
It was pretty tight there, Scott, I must say. And, he didn't flinch much. He didn't hardly move.
Your count. Oh, man, he brings that thing, fastball. What did he call it, John?
He called it a ball, Scott. I think it's 2-1 now. It could be 2-2. I can't trust that scoreboard like you said, but he caught one and missed one, so I think it's 2-2.
And they didn't give us a clicker or anything.
No,
so here's Zielinski. He winds up. He brings her home a little low, so I believe that puts us to a 3-1 count now. So 3 balls, 1 strike on your Raider batter here in the bottom of the sixth inning with Charlevoix behind 5-2. Zielinski, he checks. He winds up. He brings the ball 4, and that puts the Charlevoix runner, your number 2 batter of this inning, on to first base.
It was a little low in the dirt. He got the ball 4 count, and off he goes.
Now, John, that's got to be our number 3 batter because...
yeah, we've got 2 outs right now, Scott. That's okay.
Isaac Closter now steps in. He's got a runner on first base with 2 outs. Here's Zielinski. He eyeballs the first base runner and then brings a fastball for strike 1.
Beautiful pitch again. I think he can do that when he wants to. He's just been trying to hit those corners a little bit, Scott. It is score 5-2 Central Lake, bottom of the sixth inning, 2 outs for the Raiders with a man on first.
Zielinski checks his runner, brings her in low. That is ball 1.
Runner takes off, Scott. Runner takes off. Morgan Stewart takes off to second base. The catcher bobbled the ball, and he steals second. Runner on second, a base hit hopefully would bring him home.
Isaac Kloster now stepping in as your batter, Zielinski. He looks at his runner on second, brings a fastball for ball.
That's 52, yeah, it was outside.
2 balls, 1 strike on Isaac Kloster now. Runner for Charlevoix on second base, 5-2, 2 outs. Oh, man, that was a tremendously daring curveball. 2-2 now on Isaac Kloster.
That was a good pitch, Scott. He brought it right across where he wanted to, obviously.
Zielinski with a great arm. He looks at his runner on second, winds up, brings her a gasser right down the pipe. Isaac gets onto it, hits it to the second baseman, and that's for the 3rd out. That's the end right there of the 6th inning. And as we go into the top of the 7th, John, let's have you run through those sponsor lists again. I just want to say that this is 1270 AM, WMKT, 92.1 FM, the talk station.
Thanks, Scott. And we want to thank all of our sponsors today. And the first one is Talganoff & Snyder. Talganoff & Snyder is a proud supporter of Charlevoix Sports. They're attorneys dedicated to service. They'd be happy to serve you, too. Call Alan Talganoff or Valerie Snyder at 231-547-3400 or stop by their new office on the corner of M66 and US 31 here in Charlevoix. Again, Northern Michigan Sports Medicine helping you get back into the action quicker. Northern Michigan Sports Medicine has a location near you. Go to northernmichigansportsmed.com for all your details. Scott, also Ron Agnello, CPA. Go Raiders from Ron Agnello, certified public accountant. See Ron for all your tax and business planning needs. Behan Window and Cleaning. Dean Behan and Behan Window and Cleaning are proud to support Charlevoix baseball. Again, folks, it's 5-2 Central Lake on the top. We're at the bottom of the 6th. We're going into the 7th inning stretch. Right now, both coaches are talking to their teams off the field, and we'll get it started for you again. We want to also thank Charlevoix Abstract and Title. Charlevoix Abstract and Title Agency is for your fast and accurate and professional full-service title company. Give them a call at 547-0792 or visit them at 203 Mason Street, just across from the county building. Also, North Coast Imagewear. Visit Tracy Peel and North Coast Imagewear in Petoskey for all your custom art, screen printing, and embroidery needs. North Coast is a proud, longtime sponsor of Charlevoix baseball. Also, Lakeview Maintenance, Dwayne Farmer. You can reach Dwayne at 675-9620 for all of your maintenance on your yards. Nathan and Joy Klooster. Call Nate or Joy for natural raised beef, hormone-free, now taking orders for the fall. They're also taking orders for hay, round or square bales, and have grain for sale. You can call them at 675-0225. The individual sponsors for today, Scott, are the Farmer family, the Talganoff family, Corrine Henry, Pam Drost, the Zip family, and Kurt Heckendorn.
John, we want to take a minute to say thank you for all of the parents that helped sponsor this contest. We're going to be joined here by Coach Talganoff because there's not going to be a 7th inning, and he can explain that all to a couple of rookies like you and I. So can you give him? I guess we can try that thing. It might be interesting. So let's give it a whirl. Go ahead, Al. You got me?
Yeah, we got you fine, Alan. Okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Coach, you're coming back there. We got a couple of runs in the last inning. We had a lot of men on. It was looking pretty good.
Right. Well, we made a little rally there at the end, but couldn't quite get over the hump. I think where we lost that game was early on. You know, we had our opportunities. That first pitcher, we hit the ball hard against them, and they made some nice plays, and we just couldn't capitalize. So, hats off to Central Lake. They made the plays, and we did.
Yeah, actually, Al, I agree with you. You had, I thought, a few opportunities to actually shut the door, and you left that door lingering, and they made you pay. Patton, a nice pitcher for Central Lake, and then Zielinski, a kid who throws gas also.
Right, and it was a good move by their coach. We were rallying a little bit, and they pulled the lefty, a little lefty, kind of a slower pitcher, and we were starting to time him. And when they bring in the righty, they threw a little bit harder, and he gave us a little problem. But Pat, I tell you what, he's the kind of pitcher we were just talking about. He's the kind of pitcher who gives us problems because he's around the plate, he's working outside corner, and we struggle with that. We want to hit the long ball.
Well, I think, Alan, Tommy Zip was doing a good job in the beginning. He had good control. Like you said earlier when you were here, he was loosened up, and he was just kind of throwing it. I think he got a little nervous when he got behind. He was throwing him a little bit low. And the deal was that, we'd have 2 outs right away in the first 2 or 3 innings right away, and he kind of got a little nervous, and that's when they scored all their runs. So we had every chance in the world.
Well, you're right, John, and it's 2 outs, and it's usually 2 strikes. That's
right, exactly. We had him right down to the wire.
And then they make a hit, and we just couldn't close the door. And you're right. The thing I told Tommy was, he gave up 4 runs, and we had a couple errors, gave him a couple of those runs, maybe 3 of those runs were really unearned runs. And so what he ended up doing is throwing, 110, 120 pitches out there, which is more than we want him to do.
Sure.
Because we threw the ball around a little bit. So, but, like I said, hats off to them. I thought Tommy pitched a nice game for us, and we got 2 more years with him, so looking forward to good things.
Big base hit by, it looked like your player of the game there, Mr. Drost. Right, almost in perfect timing. Jesse, what's going on out there?
Just going out there, got to hit the ball.
Yep, buddy, sidearm style. You were right around the plate doing exactly what Coach wanted you to do there when the pressure was on. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jesse, a couple other questions I've got for you. When you come from first base to now pitcher position, you feel loose when you start there?
It don't really matter because I can throw whenever. I don't really need much time to loosen up or anything. I can just throw whenever I need it.
Gotcha. Well, great job, buddy. I congratulate you on that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I want to say nice job, even though the outcome might not have been the way you wanted it. I'm going to hand it back to Coach Telganoff.
Alan, can you tell us a little bit what happened? We came up an inning short here. Did you call the game because this is you got another? What's going on there?
We play 6.
Okay, well I thought Scott told me 7.
I did tell you 7.
No. We were making the scoreboard was off and on and everything else,
right.
And we apologize for that. This is our first baseball game, and Scott was talking about where they usually have 9 in the big leagues.
Yeah, Scott, you had 7. Right.
So this is a 6-inning match. Okay, well thank you.
Doubleheader.
And it's because of doubleheader. That's what I wondered. Okay,
and that's our conference rule, Lake Michigan Conference.
So now districts is that way too?
Nope, districts actually they switch it up and we go to 7. You're right. I know it.
So
I think that
this is come on.
I know it. What I'm told is because of the conference, because of being in northern Michigan, early on in the season, we couldn't get 2 7s in.
I see.
We just don't have enough sunlight.
I'll talk a little bit about who you're going to throw here. Obviously, we can't stay for the second game, but tell us who you're going to start. What's going on for your starting pitcher next game?
Well, we're going to throw Shane Sutherland. He's our freshman. Done a real nice job for us this year. He throws a little bit sidearm, kind of a 3/4 delivery. He's got a nice curveball. Just got to trust it, kind of like we saw with Tommy Zip.
Right.
But Shane's an exciting player for us. He's going to be a real good player over the next 4 years.
That last inning, too, Coach, you brought in Jesse Drost there to pitch, and he kind of had a little bit of a sidearm stretch there, and he threw that ball pretty hard. He looked pretty good. I know it was a little early. He only got a chance in 1 inning, but he looks pretty strong.
Jesse loves to pitch. That's the thing about him, and he's one of these kids that's always asking, hey, can I pitch? And he's not part of our regular rotation or anything. He said, kind of our inning leader. We need an inning. Go out and do it for us. And I thought he did a great job today. We should have had a double play on the 1-grounder that he threw, and he just did a great job. And that, he probably doesn't want me to say this out here. That's his first hit of the season. Hit a line shot up the middle.
Oh, it was a great shot. Yeah, it was a wonderful shot, Coach.
So and
he got 2 player of the game. Yeah, right.
So, there you go.
I love it. Alan, I want to tell you thanks a lot because you're usually sitting here with Scott Boss, the voice of the Charlevoix basketball Raiders. But I really enjoyed myself my first time on the air with Scott and WMKT Radio 1270, and I had a good time, even though the wind's blowing 25 in our face and my hands are frozen, but I had a wonderful time. Thanks for inviting me, and I hope it went well, and we look forward to doing it again.
Hey, Al, I'd just like to have you do this. I know that tonight's broadcast was put on in part by a bunch of your parents, so if you want to do your thank yous a minute, I'm going to let you close this whole program out, buddy.
Well, I want to thank. This wouldn't have been possible without all the sponsors. And we had some of our families contribute. We had the Farmer family, my family, Telganoff family, Corrine Henry, supporting number 16, her grandson, Jordan Farmer, Pam Dross, Jesse's mom, the Whip family, Kirk Heckendorn, And then all of our business sponsors, Sullivan Snyder, Northern Michigan Sports Med, Ron Agnello, CPA, Behan Window Cleaning, Charlevoix Abstract and Title, North Coast Imageware, Terry's Place and the Villager Pub, Lakeview Maintenance, and there's another set of parents, Nate and Joy Closer. And, hey, I want to just take a second to thank Nate for all he does. You know, he's our guy. He's right out in the field right now, raking between innings. He's here after our practice every night, helping us out, and like all these parents, sacrifice so much, but Nate gives up so much of his time for us, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate having you guys here.
Al, thanks a lot, Alan, and good luck in the second game, Coach.
All right.
Hey, and I want to just say this as we get ready to go back. I just want to say it was fun. I'd like to say that I'm still warm, but the only thing I can feel is the hot chocolate. So I'm going to thank Gay Hodge for that.
I would agree with you 100%, Scott. I appreciate you having me, sir. Anytime you give me a call, and if it's not this cold, I'll be happy to join you again.
Okay. And with that, your Raiders end up on the short end of that stick, 5-2. And for Scott Boss
and John Murray,
along with John Murray, and 1270 AM, 92.1 FM, WMKT, the talk station. Good night.